with the bombs. First round's going to be Omaha. Then we'll go to home.
Last time I was on your last.
Yeah, I'm kind of Bears might actually have a chance to win.
I'm assuming all double board, right? We're going to do double board.
All double board.
Washington football team. Because, you know, Commanders is so much better than the Washington football team. They're both pretty bad.
Let's name ourselves after a bridge.
Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9.
What are we doing our bomb bots? We do 5 or 10?
What are we playing? 1, 2? Or 2, 5?
1, 2, 5.
1, 2, 5. So we'll do $10 bomb pot.
You good with that?
Button's gonna start in seat 10. Seat 9. Sorry, I thought we were cool.
Okay, then let's start with when at home.
Alan's here, Don's here, Sarah's here, Corey's here, Matt's here, Dwayne's here, and Carlos. Okay, cool.
Good.
Bomb pot, we're gonna start Omaha. $10 bomb pots all night.
Who's got the bomb pop up?
So we're gonna start here.
Oh, that's the normal button, right? The bomb pop button.
I think John Austin there.
Hey,
John, can we have the bomb pot button, please? The bomb pot button.
Bomb pot button.
Thanks.
You don't speak so that.
No one does.
Killed it.
ready to go? Alright, I'm gonna start going.
No, there's a blip.
Which is fine because you won't roll off, but you will trip on and off kind of.
I
That's
feel
like
like
a
a little
death
sandwich
too.
over here.
Alright, ante up guys, $10 each.
Not talking
We're gonna
about
start with a bomb pot.
post shot.
Double board, PLO.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Georgetown Poker Club for our Thursday game, our 1, 2, 5. Something a little different here. We're doing a round of each, and we're going to have Hold'em is our second option. And we're into PLO right now, so we're already off and running. My name is Dante at Dante Poker. We got a really interesting lineup here. We do have Corey on the table on the field here. He is in seat 8. He's a YouTube vlogger, so he'll be vlogging this out, I'm sure. I don't think he's going to be playing the PLO portion of the round of each here, though, however. And I'll get the names of everybody else as well. I want to say thank you for everybody who joined us in the chat. I'm trying to pull it up right now on my phone.
90? It's 10 each. $10 bomb pot. 90 total.
Okay, we're going to start off with a bomb pot here, as customary in almost all the tables you play here in Texas.
Just gonna start here first. Seat 1 check. I need everyone.
So we have Sharky in seat 1. We saw him in last Thursday's sit and go style tournament for 20K to first. He's in first position. Then we have Brutus. Brutus Poker's in second.
Correct. Seat 3 fold.
In seat 4 we have Johnny. He's played the last couple of streams that I've seen. He's waking up with a really strong bomb pot hand here. He's got the nut flush draw on the bottom board and really not much else there. Brutus does have, he flopped a boat, but things can change on the turn here. But he's going to go ahead and lead out for 75. And Johnny, of course, calls. I believe they are doing a $500 match the stack as well. Brutus also has top pair on the bottom board. Los is in seat 9, and he's going to call as well with his own 5. And Los also has top pair on the bottom board as well. Brutus looks like he's still in the lead with a boat here, but that's kind of the problem. That jack comes in, and that's an overcard to him. So I'd like to see if there's any aggression from anybody else. Brutus leads out for 300. Wants to force those nut flush draws. A price if they choose to call here. And Lois does make the call. It's going to be a chop pot if it goes. And looks like we have an all in and a call, and it's just going to be a chop here. Most did have 2 pair, and looks like the bottom board. So oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's a scoop. Los. See, that jack did help. Didn't even see him have the jack there, so he had the better boat. Tough one for Brutus.
Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, so obviously the first hand, Los is getting a little bit more than a double up, so I think the players will have an opportunity to match up to that.
5 is adding on 500. 8 added on 500.
And some players are, as you can see, are already matching that stack close to it. A couple players already added on here. C3's name is Gray.
After this round, after I do the round of Omaha, when the button gets to seat 1, it will switch. Rescan.
Gray did have a small blocker pair, but that's really not a hand that you can play, especially out of position. Johnny Poker has a suited ace and a pair. It's good enough for a call there.
That one's good. That one's good.
Try washing
No, scan your card.
Just wash them up.
Seat 9's scanning. Alright, I have all at once.
There we go.
Alright, you're good now. You're good now. Alright, so I got fold from seat 3, call 4, call 5, call 6, actions on seat 7.
So we're having a lot of calls here. People want to see some flops.
Fold seat
Mr. Wayne in seat 7, who I
8, call 5.
played with a little bit before, and I just played with today, has the suited ace here.
Call 5.
It's got some connecting cards as well.
I have
And Los wakes up with suited queen, some Broadway cards. It's good enough to play, especially at that price. Remember, this is PLO. It's not a bomb pot, so we are only going to see one board. In PLO, I'm so used to seeing 2 boards because it plays a lot of bomb pots.
seat 1, seat 2, seat 3 checks to seat, or I'm sorry, seat 4 checks to seat 5, checks to seat 6, to 7, actions on seat 9, bet 15, call 15, seat 1, raise.
Just to let everybody know, Wednesday nights is ladies' night, and ladies play free here. And then Monday we have a discount for people who work in the service industry. So come on down if you want to play some poker. What's really nice about this is they always have a 1-2 game going, and it's almost match the stack. It's 80% match the stack. So typically you would see 1-2 games. They're capped at 300 no matter what the largest stack is. But here you can match. You can play up to that, so it's a nice benefit.
Fold, seat 9, seat 1, actions on seat 1.
Okay, Mr. Wayne does have the nut draw here with the hearts, but Brutus flopped. So he's effectively flopped the nuts here with top set, but we all know that can change with the next card. And Sharky has what we call a wrap here. So any Jack 10-8 will give him a straight. Now the ace brings on a second flush draw, but nobody has spades to draw to.
Fold, seat 7, actions back to seat 1. Fold, seat 2 takes down
And Sharky, yeah, with only one card left, it's not really worth it to chase. A lot of times, a lot of straights will get chopped as well. So it's a smart decision and likes to fold there. Brutus is going to win a little bit back of his money that he went all in on the bomb pot with. Again, cumulative winnings. Los is still up from that initial all-in bomb pot. Brutus is only down 273, which is good. Recover some of his money back, and everybody else is just getting in the swing of things. You're still on the PLO round as of right now. So we're going to do a round of PLO, and I think when the button gets back to seat 1 or seat 9, then we're going to switch to Hold'em.
Post travel, action's going to start on seat 4. 6, simmer.
Johnny's going to play his very connected 4 cards here. 3, 4, 5, 6. He does have some clubs in there. He's got 3 clubs, which is kind of not what you want, but still can work out. Simmer down, seat 6 is got almost the same hand as Johnny, but the higher version. He's got 3 clubs as well. And Mr. Wayne is going to call. He's very connected with spades in there. And Gray with the pocket kings. He's going to looks like he's going to like to pot this, I think. One of his kings is suited. He's going to bump it up to 40. Yeah, I like this play. I mean, if you're going to play the kings, but you almost always would, you'd like to try to isolate a little bit more than having it go 5 ways into the pot before the flop. And Brutus wakes up with a nice hand too. A couple of Broadway cards, and he's got diamonds. Straight flush potential here.
7 players.
And we're still have, looks like 7 players. So we got a pot of almost $300. See 2 spades right off the bat. Mr. Wayne does have the only spades that would work here.
Check to C3.
Simmer Down has
280.
what we call a gut shot.
Bet.
Johnny missed.
C4.
Gray does have an up and down straight with an overpair. Brutus with top pair. And a king would also give him a straight, but 3 kings are already in his actually all the kings are accounted for here.
Call 280 C6.
And Sharky has 2 pair, but he can't like that.
Fold C7, fold C9. Actions back to C1.
And Gray, apologize, Gray did bet out there. Probably not really betting his kings. He's betting the draw that he has, and it's really called a wrap. So any king 10 or 9, I think, would give him that straight.
Heads up. Action starts on C3.
Ooh, another 2 comes. I think somebody folded a 2. Would have had a boat there, queen 2, but with only 170 behind, Gray is going to go ahead and just get it in here. I don't think he can ever get someone to fold with this.
Call C6.
But he is technically ahead at the moment, so Simmer Down is going to have to catch a card here. A 10 would be maybe a chop, so a jack comes, so Gray's going to take it down. Nice little pot there. It's like it's a $1,200 pot.
Take down the pot, C3.
I think there were a couple of hands that folded that would have beat him, but the aggression got him that win there.
You know that's gonna come. Where's the other queen?
Hello, my name is Dante at Dante Poker. If you're on Instagram, if you guys want to follow me, I'm a local player here in the Texas area. Play full time.
Alright, C4 reloads. 500. Correct.
Hello, Michael. How are you? Let us know if you can hear us okay, and maybe I know we do have mics on the felt here, but I can hear the players as well.
C6.
Already seen, I think we've had a few hands already. We've already seen some all-ins.
You should have 750 total.
750 total? Yeah. Should be 750 total for Simmer Down C6.
This is only a $500 buy-in. It is match the stack, but can't really get too touched up here.
70.
So you have Simmer Down and Brutus.
870.
They've both been all in the first 4 hands. Gray has now passed Los as far as the cumulative winnings. And everybody else is kind of right around that mark, looking to play a little bit. Like I said, Corey's not going to be playing the PLO hands. He's decided after all. Hasn't really played hasn't played any PLO. So he would definitely be at a disadvantage against some of these players. All right, we are off. Let's see here. I think that's Matt. See Matt play several times. Really good player. He is under the gun in PLO. And he doesn't really have anything. A lot of players think that might be a good hand, but it's not. It's nothing suited. Your ace doesn't have a partner with that. Simmer Down, though. He's got a pocket pair, and he's got some connectivity here with the 3, 4, 6. So depending on the flop, it could really be advantageous. And he's just gonna call the little blind there.
Okay, just hold it. Okay, so I got fold from seat
Yeah,
5.
I
Call
barely hear the
seat
players
5,
myself.
6, fold from seat 7. Give him up it. Fold seat 8. Call seat 9. Call seat 1. Call seat 2. Call seat 3.
Sharky's going to call with his suited ace. Yeah, PLO, this is definitely a drawing game. You want to draw to
Call seat 4.
a flush, straight, things like that. So you want to play cards that connect. You're double suited. It's even better. And Johnny as well has got a suited ace.
Action's gonna start on
Don't think I saw anybody. Oh, Brutus does have a king. He's going to check this down. Having trips usually is not as strong as one would think, especially in PLO, as opposed to
25 is the bet.
Hold'em, which are almost unbeatable.
Seat 2. Call 25.
I like Brutus to just check there.
Fold. Seat 4. Actions on
He's basically in check call mode right now. He's looking for a friend to his king, whether it's a queen, jack, or 3. Ooh, Lowe's flopped a boat, but he's probably not liking that too much, although he is ahead at the moment. His opponent could definitely have king 8, something like that. It really just smashes Lowe's. Lowe's doesn't have anything else going on with it, no straight, no flush draw either. So again, Brutus is just in check calling mode here.
seat 9. Call
And Brutus knows he's a PLO player, so he knows he needs a friend with that. He needs a queen or a 3, a king, jack, something like that. And Lois is going to get the best of Brutus again. This might go check, check. Oh, because, yeah, he went check, check, and Lois wins another pot off of Brutus. I don't know if that's going to be a theme for the rest of the evening. We are on for 3 hours. I want to thank everybody for popping in and joining us. I really appreciate it. Our address in Georgetown is Williams Drive, number 106, Georgetown, Texas. If you're in the area, you play locally, please stop by and take a look at this club. If you want to play the stream, just contact the stream. Definitely get you on. I know we have, I think we're going to be doing 2 streams a week. I don't have the information on the other one though, so I know that Thursday we'll always have a stream. And it'll always be, or as of right now, it'll always be a round of each with Hold'em and PLO. Los now takes the lead over Gray. Los has won 2 nice hands so far. I'm interested in see what strategy they have when they switch to Hold'em. Mr. Wayne, very familiar. Played with him before at other spots in town. So he wakes up with a nice pocket aces, and it's really the ace queen of hearts that has a lot of potential here.
Whenever you need to be rescanned, you can't just move all
Again,
cards.
Corey's not going to be
Have to be
in this hand, and Los wakes up with a pocket pair, suited queen though,
call from seat 7.
and he's double suited actually with the
Actions on
with little slick,
call back from 2.
and pocket pair and diamonds.
Call from 4. Call from 5.
All right, we have Brutus is in the cutoff here. He's got some connectivity with his 10-8 of hearts, and plus he's got a jack as well. Probably missed somebody. And Gray's got pocket jacks and hearts as well. We have an all-club flop, and I think we have 2 players with clubs. We have Johnny Poker, who flopped a straight flush draw, but Matt is holding his 9 of clubs, and he flops the straight. And he's going to play tricky, and I like this play because a lot of times you'll bet this, and people will call with 2 pair or something of that nature, and it always gets you on the turn of the river. So you might like to. This is the time where Matt will start betting here, and he'll probably go full pot. And nobody really has anything. Nobody has. I think there's one set out there I saw.
From seat 5.
I think it was already folded.
7.
No, with it's actually Johnny that bet. I apologize. Johnny's gonna lead out.
I got bet was 25 from 4, raised to 50 on 5. Hold around to.
And Matt just min clicks it here.
Call.
It's definitely a red flag. MPLO. He min clicks it to try to get other players in the pot. He could just jam it and just take the dead money now, but it's probably more profitable if he makes this move. So I like it. Johnny's in a tough spot. He has to call because the 9 of clubs would give him the absolute nuts here, but he doesn't know that Matt actually holds that card.
25 bet from 4, raised to 50 on C. Heads up.
This club actually hurt Johnny because there are more clubs now out there, so he may like to bet out, and he does. But Matt has a stone cold nuts, and he blocks any straight flush draws that his opponent could have. So he's gone out thinking about how much he can raise it for. I'd like to see a max value here.
Raise 235 total now from C.
So he almost min clicks it, looks like, to 225, 235. So only 130 more to call, 135 more to call. And he's going to call and not like it, but and there you go. Matt takes down a nice pot. He doesn't play a lot of PLO or any PLO really, but he's definitely picking up. He can see when he's got the best hand. He knows he should play a little trickier than he traps it.
Yeah.
C4, reload 500.
Question about is the players mic'd? I am not sure. I know I can hear some table talk. I think there's a mic above them, but I don't think they have one on them.
No shuttle. All the cards at once.
Okay, Mr. Wayne.
You're good now, though. All right.
Looks like he's under the gun here. Does have the suited connectivity in the middle with an ace king. It's worthy of a call there. It's tough. You typically wouldn't see any type of raises under the gun unless you're drawn to some sort of nuts there or something strong. Los wakes up with a suited king with a pair of jacks.
I don't know what it is. Oh, you don't know what it is?
Yeah, that's good enough for him to raise it up a little bit. Just try to build the pot. Sharky is definitely playing this hand. This hand's pretty strong. Pocket fours, double suited, 3-4, 4-5.
Okay, so I got
Love to play
call
that
five,
hand. They can really be very sneaky.
C7, call 5, C7, fold.
And Brutus is going to be in there with his double suits as well. Spades and clubs. So if we see a low flop, this could be very interesting with all the players except for Los here. And Matt as well is, well, he's not double suited, but he's got the 3-5 and he's got some connectivity as far as straights go. But you really have to smash that flop to get him to continue. Something like 2-4, 2-6, some 2 spades, something like that. I do see a king. So we have all clubs. Sharky has the only clubs? No, is it? Gray has the queen high flush so far. Not only that, but he's got a gut shot to the straight flush.
105.
It's always nice to have. And I don't see the jack. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Looking for the 10 of clubs. Does anybody have that? Nope. So he could technically get the straight flush here. It is available.
Call 105 from C3. Hold 4, hold 5, hold 6. Actions on 7, hold 7.
So Sharky does lead out with his flush, and he's going to get called. And typically, a lot of times,
C9. I have heads up.
when Sharky gets called here, he almost always knows he's now beat. Sometimes sets will definitely call in 2 pairs, but for the most part, you know, your hand's going to get called with something stronger than your flush here.
Heads up.
And Gray is technically ahead. Now Gray knows he has the best hand ever, and this is a really bad card for Sharky because it takes away another club that his opponent could have had.
Good to go.
Unfortunately, he has the second nut hand before the turn, and this is just going to get all in here. Yeah. And it's unfortunate for Sharky there. I think that was the ace of clubs is what made him go all in. That gave him a little bit more comfort. Looks like Sharky's going to reload.
I need a 5 of clubs.
That's why I like the cap here at 500 to start. You can't get too much damage. And Sharky can now like to buy in for, I think it's for the largest deck, which is like 1.6 or something like that. Gray's by far our chip leader or winner here, over 1.1 in the first 40 minutes. Not a bad night's work. Good job to him. Los has won some hands. I don't think he's actually lost a hand he wanted. So, and Matt is also on the positive side as well with his nut flush. I think that's actually a great strategy in NPLO is just call down all your strong draws, and when you hit, just bet.
Now he does. He said now you can have all the colors, and we both thought he didn't have white. So
Find
he'll go white
another
over there.
1,000.
Seats 4.
J-Rod.
I believe so. The button was in C3 last time.
Oh, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that.
No, he should be button because I moved it so you could deal to me.
Bring it in, guys.
All right, Mr. Wayne is first to act here. Under the gun, you really have to tighten up your ranges here.
Well, everyone
And
here
then start
is
really
just
talking
gonna
about
simmer.
ranges, pre-flop ranges,
Corey,
in PLO, because any cards will do, can win, more so than in Hold'em. But you want to play some nutted draw type hands that can hit suited aces, of course, big pocket pairs, connection cards,
has to be all 4 at once.
especially if you're double connected with straight and flush possibilities.
Yes, you're double off on both. You guys are
You
right.
have them all on top of each other, like so just you guys are like walk. That way.
Mr. Wayne does have those type of cards. He has the ace-jack of hearts. The 8-5 is almost meaningless right now. He's probably just going to limp in. It's kind of a limp in hand to see the flop, see if you can flop hearts or not.
Alright. So action's gonna start on seat 7. Call 5.
Yeah, he's just going to call. He's going to bring it's a 1-2-5, which means 1-2, so a small line of big blinds, but you got to bring in for 5, so you can't just call in for 2.
Just a little bit. Call 5 from seat 3, 4, and 5. Now action's on 6.
3 or 4 all in pots already.
So call.
I got 15, 74.
Seat 6 call.
I think I am the
I have 7 players.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of behind all the action here as I see all the hands developing. Los with 7-6 suited. I did see a so Los flops a set here. It's vulnerable to top set with aces, which is very possible in PLO. You don't tend to see huge ranges with aces there, unless they were suited, both double suited. So he's gonna flop top set. He's gonna lead out. Look, he looks to start building the pot. There is no flush on the board, so he's gotta like that. So the hands are gonna call him are the 2 pairs type hands. So maybe 4 or 5 would call. And we do have simmer down with the 4. He's got to wrap himself 4, 5, and 7. So any 4, 5, or 7, he's gonna take this. The 9 of spades brings in a flush, which Johnny Poker is the only one with 2 spades in his hand. And he has a gut shot as well. 5 will give him a straight, although a lot of times that straight's not good. As it would be if there was a 5. Actually, simmer down would have the better straight.
Call 100, C6, fold 7. I got 3 players.
So that set is going to hold. That board didn't really get connected at all. There's no real straight, no straights at all. So he's got to feel really good. I think a smaller bet just to try to get a crying call from 2 pair. Nobody really has anything. Yeah, Johnny can't call, obviously. It is a smaller bet. Usually hoping that somebody has 2 pair here.
C9 takes down the pot.
Los is going to win another pot.
Didn't like me for a second.
Hey, you owe me $10. You take that out of your pocket.
Los looks like he's catching up to Gray here. He's almost got a 1K profit. Not bad. When he's starting out with $500. He's almost tripled his money. Seems to be a very good PLO player. First time I've seen him. We have Matt in third.
Yeah, 6:45 dinner reservation, so yeah, just sat down at the end. I had a glass of wine. Let me go grab some shrimp. I had a glass of wine and some shrimp and some pot stickers or something.
Where does the switch from PLO to push
I go to C1. Trust the dealer.
C8, got it? You good? C8 fold. Matches on 9.
Corey's going to fold here. It's not a very, I know pocket 10s. Good hold'em hand, but it's not a very inspiring hand in PLO. Doesn't even have much connectivity, or he's not suited. Gray, however, has the suited ace with 3, 6, 9. And Johnny has a suited ace as well.
40 total. Raise to 40.
Ooh, simmer down. Big hand here. Pocket kings, suited ace
From 7.
with the queen of diamonds, which you'd rather have the hearts there, but it's a good starting hand. It's good enough to raise, I'm sure, and he does raise it.
Fold C1.
Mr. Wayne's going to definitely call. I think he did with his suited queen.
40 C4. Cold C5. I have 3 players.
Nobody with an 8.
13.
It's going to slow down action, though, I would think, but
35.
Simmer Down's going to bet this. He has backdoor straight. He has backdoor straight flush draw. He's gonna rep that 8. It's very ambitious.
Seven.
I think he was.
Back to 4. Fold. C6 on the pot.
I think he was ahead technically anyway. So
He had like a lot of list.
That's all. Believe it's you.
The person who's never played a hand is the biggest bet.
You get out on like 3/3. 1589.
Guess I'm not gonna deal in C8. He's in the blind. Should I deal him in?
Yeah, do them that.
Alright. He keeps leaving me.
Can I, is it too late to add 3 or just wait till the next time?
You haven't looked at your cards yet. You can add it right now. I will allow it, sir.
You look at one card and decide.
Yeah. Dave, no.
You reloaded 300. Seat 5 reloads 300. Seat 4, John. All right, we're good. Action starts here. Call 5 from seat 9. Yes, seat 5. John. No.
not really strong holdings here.
So I got
Lows with
call
a
5 from seat 9.
very small pocket pair. He does have a king suited.
Raise to 20 from seat 3.
Sharky's got
Call 4.
the ducks, but he's also got the 5-2 suited, which I kind of like to play.
Call 20 from 6 and 7.
Johnny with a some Broadway connection, and Corey with he's not in the hand though.
From seat 8. 20 is called from seat 9. 20 is called from seat 1.
Matt's also has a suited ace, some wheel draw options, and Simmer Down's going to call
7.
4 different suits there. All right, Gray's going to go ahead and flop a boat here, and he's got the better boat. 9s and 8s versus 8s and 9s. He really did smash his flop. It's going to be tough getting any value. There are 2 spades out there, but no one's got... Oh, Mr. Wayne does have a gut shot to the straight flush. 10 of spades. I could see Mr. Wayne calling any bet. Outside of that, I don't see a lot of...
60 is the bet from seat 3.
Yeah, I don't see... There's not even an overpair, really. So it's going to be tough getting any type of action here.
Seat 7.
Gray just smashed this flop.
Fold to seat 9.
Yeah, I like that fold from Mr. Wayne. I mean, although he does have the straight flush draw, it doesn't really get there. And it's really not the bet on the flop. It's always the bet on the turn. And then are you going to chase it on the turn? That was almost very obvious both there. So Gray is going to take down another pot. I played with Gray for a few minutes right before the stream. VPIPs are going to be a lot higher in PLO than they are in Hold'em. So you could see 60-70% throughout the game, since PLO is a drawing type of game. So it's tough to really figure out ranges and stuff like that. But people are going to be playing a lot more hands And with 4 cards, you're going to have a lot more connectivity to your hand as well. Brutus, nice hand here. His aces suited with the pocket jacks. Gray's got a nice hand as well. 9-8 of spades with the queen of spades. Johnny's going to hit. We're going to see a pair of 6s in his suit of his own. Simmerdown wish he had a club to go along with his ace of clubs, but he's got the 2, 3, 5. He kind of blocks his own straight flush.
Kyle started at 8%, so he's going to try to beat Kyle.
Someone had a 3. Simmerdown is going to. What? Also, Simmerdown and Mr. Wayne both have a 3. Simmerdown has the better kicker right now. I'm just trying to scan around and see what I have here. Lowe's has a gut shot. Brutus with an overpair, but he knows that's usually never good. Gray totally missed this flop, and I don't think Johnny Poker won't continue as well. And that makes it $15 into.
Call 80, seat 6, heads up.
You could reload some more? I'm kidding. Yeah. How I just mess with you.
Heads up, access on 6.
Mr. Wayne now jumps ahead of Simmerdown with his boat. He acted really fast. That is a definite sign. It's a definite tell. And Simmerdown's got to know he's behind. He needs an ace and an ace only here. And he's going to get a queen. Obviously, the flush is no good. And Simmerdown was ahead on the flop, and he just got outturned there. And you know how fast Mr. Wayne bet there. That's I think Simmerdown could have gotten away. Couldn't have gotten away with it. Just folded out. It is only trips. So much that beats him. Pocket 7s, 7-3. King 3, obviously, which is what Mr. Wayne had. And with that pot, Mr. Wayne is going to go above. He's going to go positive winnings. I'm also looking at the football game for tonight. 0-0.
So I have a live
Anything you want. You don't have to put a hand at
2. Live 10.
Let us know if you have any questions about the club, myself, about PLO or Hold'em. I must confess that I'm much more of a Hold'em player than a PLO player.
C3 call 10. C4 raised to 40.
All right, Matt Wiggs. This is a really good hand. He's got a big pocket pair. He's got some connectivity. He's got the Jack 8 of hearts as well. Johnny Poker also has a nice hand. Pocket games with the suited queen with the 2. I actually like Matt's hand more than Gray, who doesn't have a suited ace, but he's got some Broadway cards and a suited 10. And then Los is going to pick up clubs, but on the lower end. And Simmerdown is probably should fold this one. Oh, he looks like he calls. Got the 3-6 of spades. In PLO, you want to look for those connections or the suited connecting cards, or play really well in PLO. Those are the cards you're looking for most of the time here.
I got 5 players.
We're off to the flop. And Brutus is also in there with some marginal holdings, I will say.
Check. Check to C2.
But Brutus is more of a PLO player.
Takes a 3. Actions now check to C4.
Now we have a flop. We have a very connected flop here for a straight. King Jack makes a straight. Nobody has King Jack. Matt's blocking all the jacks right now. Does have up and down straight draw. There is no flush draw right now. Shawnee has his own. Oh, he's got more. He's got top pairs, but he's got pocket king. So
Actions on C4.
a jack would give him a straight. So he doesn't have quite a good hand, drawing hand, because he's not open-ended.
Call 1,
Brutus
5, C5.
has kind of the same situation. He's looking,
4 players.
trying to see here. Yeah, he's already got a straight. I'm so sorry. He's got the low end of the straight, the dummy end, so to speak. So he's got Jack 8, but it's very vulnerable to King Jack.
Checks.
He's got the most equity here, but he is under the gun, so you tend to be a little bit more cautious. He's definitely in call mode. He's looking for someone to be really aggressive with their draws. There is this flush draw out there. I think for Brutus, nobody has the flush draw.
Fold to C2.
Brutus is going to let his straight go. I wouldn't mind to see him give a call there. We've seen Simmer Down
Correct.
go all in with less than spectacular hands, putting pressure on people, and he's been called really light and not one. So it was.
Here comes guys.
But Matt's going to call. Matt's got some strong holdings here. He's got his own straight already,
Good luck.
and he blocks a straight. Anybody else having that? So Matt's going to win this.
3.
And Simmerdown only had the 2 pair, so 2 pair never wins. If you don't boat up on the river, you're probably not going to win that hand. So that made straight for Matt is an easy call.
I had Jack 8 off.
See you, Chris.
You got 2 Jack 8.
Yeah, I can't believe Brutus had the same hand, but he elected to fold. It's probably because there were players behind him. You don't want to call such a big bet and then get re-jammed on from some sort of King Jack, which is totally possible. So that was a 50-50. If Brutus was last to act, yeah, absolutely, he calls that hand.
You guys call too. I'm starting to get a little scared there. Like, what am I going up here?
Well, I had kings.
We are soon going to the Hold'em round. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Here, bring 'em in, guys.
Popping in here, watching some Texas poker, which is crazy.
I'm going to go 5 to open go 4.
I pitched 2 cards at once.
I believe we'll be on for 3 hours. We started at 7, something like that. So we'll be on till 10 o'clock.
Button is in
Johnny's been kind of quiet. I'm looking for him. He's appears to be a very aggressive player. I've seen him play on some streams. Very good, accomplished player.
action's gonna start in C4.
Gray right now is running good here.
5.
Yeah, his hand wasn't very good. Doesn't even have a suit. He's got 4 suits, but yeah, not going to be able to get a flush that way. Matt wakes up with the suited ace. This is definitely just a call, especially early on. You don't want to bloat the pot until you have
Roll to C9.
some draws on the flop. So
Call 5.
just going to bring it in for 5.
5 C2. I have 5 players.
You'll see a lot of players just like to want to see a flop unless they're not going to raise pre-flop unless they have double suited aces or something like that, or double suited ace with some drawing. All right, we have 4 clubs. Los does have a flush, and he is good right now. Sharky can certainly represent the nut flush, but it might be a little bit dangerous, especially early position. So
C7.
I like to see Lowe's make a small bet here.
Stack to seat 1.
Nobody will be drawing to a flush. You either have to flush now or you don't.
Seat 1, fold seat 2.
You know, I like to bet like
Bet on 5.
he only gets called. He might get called by
Fold.
a middling type flush hand or two pair or set. Matt's going to go ahead and call. He has a gut shot with the pair of 4s here.
Black on his king jack.
75 is the bet. And seat 9.
What's that?
Fold.
Yeah, when Lowe's bets out on the turn here, it's pretty obvious he's got a flush here. Matt really can't do anything. He does block the flush, but if you had the ace of clubs, he could rep that. But his opponent could have the nut flush already, and of course the king of clubs, you can't really do anything with that.
We missed a bomb pot?
No, it's 1-2.
No,
Each
it's
grab
not.
one.
We did miss a bump out. Yeah, we missed it on him. We'll get it next round.
Looks like Corey is going to add on 700, I think. Again, I think Corey's just playing the hold'em part
Seat 8. Reload.
of this stream. He's not a PLO player, and I don't blame him for that.
I'm up for doing that.
As David, we can move the button to 8 and do the bump pot.
That looks about right.
I probably consider myself, I play a lot of poker myself, and I would say I play PLO maybe 5% of the time.
Alright, looks like we missed the bump out. We're going to do it now.
And seat 8.
We are going to now play a bomb pot.
we doing
If
any
you
other
do not
bomb
know what a
pot?
bomb
No,
pot
we're gonna
is,
be Omaha all night.
PLO action, double board, no pre-flop action. So you can't put anybody on ranges,
Bump out.
and everybody gets to see a flop, and it costs $10 ante from every player. So I think it's $90 in the pot, and then everybody gets to see 2 boards. So a lot of times these bomb pots do chop between 2 players because one player is playing one board, one player is playing the other. It's always nice when you can scoop a bomb pot. That's the terminology we see. Got a scooper here. We have a new player. I've played with this player a few times. I apologize. I don't remember his name. As soon as I see it, I'll be like, oh yeah, I know he is. So he's a very good player as well.
500. 523. Reload. Seat 9.
Looks like Los is also going to add some chips, although he's been winning. He wants to have the biggest stack on the table. That's always an advantage for you.
Alright, bomb pot.
Maximizes your really strong hands. You're able to play a little bit more splashy at times if you choose to.
Over here. Alright, button is in seat 8. Need me to pause?
Grove. I think this is the hold'em part. I'll find out in a second.
Why is it always want to give me 2 cards?
I don't know what that is.
You lost him for a reason.
I just have to slow my roll. That's all that is.
Just let him take 3 chips off the stack.
This is a very unique stream. I mean, we see this setup still PLO. We see this setup a lot out there. We always see a round of each in different places to play poker, but I never see it streamed. So it's really fascinating to see some of these guys play a round of each. But this is a bomb pot, so we have. I don't know what anybody else has, but you know, I can see if somebody has spades here. Queen 10 would be a gut shot. Somebody had that. So those are the hands I'm looking for from these players. We do see Los with top pair on one board, and he's got the 2. So he's got 2 pair on the bottom and a pair on the top. He doesn't have spades, however. Brutus has spades, but he doesn't have the nut spade, and that's why he's not calling. You don't want to chase. You typically don't want to chase just a flush if it's not the nut flush without anything else on both boards. Mr. Wayne has a set. He's got top set. He's currently ahead. And he's going to obviously call here, but he has nothing really on the bottom.
Piece of diamonds on the bottom.
That ace was not what he was looking for. We are still at a chop pot here.
On seat 9.
Fortunately for Mr. Wayne, he does have some of his outs to a boat. I'm sure he knows that with the 6 he has in his hand.
Call 170. Yeah. Seat 7.
Los upgraded his 2 pair to kings and jacks, so he didn't like the jack at all.
Big one.
That, he looks
So flush got there, straight got there.
so he's gonna
That's a big puppy.
foster it until he's ready to get back up.
So
Actions over.
this is going to go.
Jack
I just don't see anybody betting at this. I know Mr. Wayne's not going to bet with just a set. Broadway now got there, so king queen beats him. So I'd like to see Los make a bet here. He could scoop it if he just goes pot. Obviously he doesn't know.
That's pretty blind.
Mr. Wayne is pretty light here.
I think he blackjack straight away. So much.
He'd have to go full pot, and I don't think he's going to do it. You just take this to showdown. He can't think he's good with his kings and jacks with a 9 kicker.
Showdown?
Remember in PLO, you have to play 2 of your cards in your hand, so it's not the queen kicker he has. It's the 9 kicker. And yeah, it's going to go check here. And hey, $35 is a profit, so at least the players didn't lose a hand. So he's going to show him he has his king. He actually shows his king 9, but it would be the hand, the 2 cards he's playing. All right, welcome everybody to the game. I really appreciate you guys being in here. We are playing a 1-2, bring it in for 5, PLO and Hold'em round of each. And if you live in Texas and play poker in Texas, you know what round of each is. Do 1 full orbit of Hold'em and then 1 full orbit of Pot Limit Omaha.
I got a $5 straddle from seat 4.
I guess I feel a little late.
So he's just scanning now.
Got another damage one.
Yeah.
We are now in Hold'em, so we'll do a full orbit of Hold'em. And PLO is going to take a lot longer to get through an orbit than Hold'em would. A lot more players are going to want to be speculative and see flops. 4 cards gives you a lot more opportunity to see those flops as well. So we're starting off Hold'em. Mr. Wayne wakes up with suited cards here, suited connected low cards, wheel cards. Los has 2 broadways. He's going to raise that up. I really like Los's game. He's I haven't seen him really play Hold'em, but he seems to be the more aggressive. Oh, we have Johnny Poker with pocket aces while he's eating. That's hard to do. He's definitely going to raise this up. I would think like around 80 or 110, something like that.
110, seat 4, fold.
He is going to go for 110.
Fold from seat 7.
That's good. That's good. You know, what's great about this bet is it's not too much. It's not ridiculous. It's really going to cap the range of his opponent, whoever calls. Los raised pre-flop, and he calls down. So he doesn't have a big pocket pair. We've probably got either a small pair or he's got 2 Broadway cards, which is what we have. Now, typically you would say this is a flop for the person who called. This is the floppers. But since Los was aggressive pre-flop, it's hard to put him on these cards unless it's pocket 9s or pocket 6s. And Johnny down bets is tremendously, 10% of the pot, $25. Los obviously will simply just have to call this. He does have backdoor flush chances and backdoor straight, if I'm seeing that right. But at this point, Los knows he's way behind. Johnny's Johnny's watching the game here. I don't think there's anything better than playing poker and watching football. I actually think that $25 is way too suspicious, and most players would call that. Los is just going to lay that down, which is
I need a
which
six.
was obviously a good no call there.
Chris wasn't the size he thought.
Hey, Chris, you were right. It was a 6.
There's another damage card.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Obviously, you go back to the parking lot. You're
Yeah,
not that
right.
high yet.
Just get a bunch of supers and we go.
Oh, you can't repair them. You can't.
Action's gonna start on 5,
Matt is not on his seat, so he's not going to be able to get his cards here. All right, we have to try to figure out. I still don't know who this player's name is.
Other, yeah, exactly.
But then there's like wearing
Alright, I got
10
full
inches.
from 5, 6, and 7. Raised.
Lynn, that's right. Oh,
Actions on C1.
Corey's got a pocket pair. He's going to raise it up. $15. Los is probably going to come in for a third bet here. Somewhere around the $50 range. 50 to 60. He's going to go big. He's going to go 75.
1, 2, and 3. C4.
You know your opponent's really strong.
Action is back to C.
Choosing this sizing here. I don't think Corey can call this. Corey is going to call. He's truly set mining. He knows if he can spike his set, he's going to get paid off here.
Check to C5.
Los is going to outflop him.
More and more.
125 is the bet. Fold.
Oh, that was almost a really dumb block.
He's going to drag a pot here.
Block into that.
Thank you.
What happens when you arm time and get up on
The V-pips. Again, these V-pips should be pretty high because you're putting in PLO in there, so PLO players going to play at least twice as much as they normally would.
From C6.
Lynn is only been there for 2 or 3 hands, so
Call 5.
shows a 0%, and that would be right. He hasn't played any hands so far.
Yep, half 5 from 6. Call 5. Raise to 25 C8.
Corey has suited Queen 10.
Fold C1. Call 25 C2. Fold.
Brutus is going to call with his suited connectors as well. Gray's going to let those 4-3 go. Mr. Wayne does have broadways here.
Fold C2.
King, queen. He's going to call,
7 calls.
I'm
C5.
sure.
I have 3 players.
Let's see a flop here. All right, Corey's going to flop a flush draw here. And that's about it. Brutus does have some back doors here. Flush and straight opportunities, and it's really missed Mr. Wayne's as well. I think Corey's going to c-bet this.
From C8. Fold. 1. Fold 7.
Oh, he does c-bet it, and he's just going to take it down. Yeah, no, the other players didn't really have anything. That was not a good flop really for anybody. Corey did have the flush draw, so he's going to drag his first pot of the evening. So,
Oh, that was terrible.
yeah, Corey doesn't play PLO, so I apologize for that. I'm the one who actually invited him to the game. He's a YouTuber vlogger for of poker. He's visiting Texas rooms here. Been here for a while now, so really good player, and I really enjoy. I just started watching his vlogs. I really enjoy his vlogs. They're a little different than most. Good production there. So we have Gray, Matt now, and Los. Matt did bust a player out. So he's up 1K so far. And he's not a PLO player either, so he's really representing himself well again. Mr. Wayne's going to throw away his little slick. Did you hear it called? Corey had 10-9 off. No good there. Especially under the gun. Los is gonna call here.
Alright, so seat 7 full. Caught up. Okay, seat 9 full, or seat 1 full, seat 2 full. Actions on seat 3. Raise to 15.
Gray's gonna raise it up.
Hold from seat 4.
He's 9-6 off, and he's just really playing the players here. He's gonna rep something stronger than what he has.
Call 15 from seat
And Los is gonna look him up, and Los is technically ahead here so far with King High. Gray's gonna outflop here with second pair.
checks to seat 3. 25 is the bet. Oh, seat 3 takes down the top. Thank you.
So taking a look at this football game, it's still 0-0. You know, last Thursday's game was really just slow as well.
5 from seat 8, a live 10 from seat 9.
Looks like we have a double straddle, so 5 and 10. So I like that. Brings a little bit more action.
Action checks to seat 1.
Sharky hasn't really played it. He's been kind of card dead here in this hold'em spot, so we'll fold that. Brutus doesn't have anything. Same as Gray. Johnny has a hand here, so he's going to be like 35 or something like that, I would guess. Try to ISO a player.
30.
He's going to go with 30.
5 full, seat 6 and 7 full. Actions on 8 full. 30. 9. 30 correct is correct. Call 30 from seat 9. Heads up.
Los is going to look him up. He's got some suited cards there. He's going to need a really good flop though. And he's going to outflop. He's going to outflop, although he doesn't know it. That queen is definitely in Johnny's range here, being a pre-flop aggressor. But Los is probably going to lead out with his bottom pair to find out exactly where he is. Now Johnny does have a gut shot to the straight as well.
Fold.
75 is more than a pot-sized bet here, so it's one of those bets where you want to find out if your pair is good or not. I imagine if he got called, it might go check on the turn unless Los improves.
0. 0. 4-5, yeah. I'm saying this game had to be better than last week.
Yeah, last Thursday game was really just, and if you play like fantasy sports or DraftKings, that was a tough game to get through. And tonight's doesn't look any better. Bears versus the Commanders, and I still want to call them the Redskins, but they are the Commanders.
Waste of time.
No one's reading.
I think it's holding.
Yeah, it doesn't think you dealt. Now no one's reading. There it goes. Yeah, now we're good.
It's like that Amazon.
I think that'll leave probably.
Call 2.
Oh, I thought Jesse was talking about the NFL games.
Call 2 from seat 3.
All right, we have Los, Jack 10,
Raise
a
20.
pocket pair for Gray. Matt does have king jack, so he dominates Los here.
Fold 8. Call 20 from low.
Don't pot next time.
Forget this time.
Call 20 seat 1. Call 20 seat 1.
I can see this going 4-way here. All right, well, Gray has an up and down straight draw. He somehow improves to that. He not only does he have an overpair, but any ace, any 6 gives him a straight. And there's the 6. So now he's got the straight. Unfortunately, nobody has anything. Sharky is drawing to a better straight. Who else is going to lead out here? I'd like to see Gray just call this. No flushes out there. He's got this board dominated as he blocks the nut straight of 5-7 with his pockets 5s. Now Sharky does draw to the better straight here if a 5 would happen to come. But yeah, that's asking a lot. He thinks he has 3 outs with 1 more card to go. Yeah, and the Gray just is going to play a little sneaky here, saying that he has a pair. So that is not a good card for, actually not a good card for Gray. If his opponent was somehow pocket 6s or some weird 2-4, he now boats up. So I'd still like to see him go for a little value here, especially when his opponent checks like that. Pot size bet might be coming in here. He's gonna go half pot. It's more of a please call me with your 1 pair, or even if you somehow had trips there. Yeah. When Gray called the turn bet from Los knew that he was most likely pretty strong there, and a bluff wouldn't have gotten through. Los has been the more active player so far with almost an 80% VPIP. Lynn has yet to find a hand that he can play. Of course, Corey sat out 10 hands a little bit ago with the PLO.
Starting with 10?
Yeah, well, I was in the 250s.
After rebuying 3 times.
Oh, yeah. Still at 6 2, I can't fold, like, probably got like 47%. Oh, yeah, and you have to maintain 70% VPIP.
Yeah, I think you told me about that game before.
5, 6, and 8.
Yeah,
For the game in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 600.
Just 5 now.
I did that at 40.
What?
You gotta rescan.
Oh, I do.
We're good. Here it comes.
Wow, really connected board here. We monotone board. This is a bomb pot. If everybody, obviously everybody probably knew that. A lot of times this board might connect with. Wow, Corey flops a flush, plus he flops a flush, straight flush draw. 9 of diamonds would be very nice. I don't see a 9 of diamonds in anybody's hand so far. So, but Corey only flopped 1 board, and he does have pocket 10s. But Los is going to lead out though with his 2 pair on the bottom and 1 pair on top. Johnny Poker has a set. Can't like that flop though. There's a lot going on here. Lynn has the nut flush. So, and he's just hoping the board doesn't pair on the bottom. Not only does he have enough flush, he does have an ace. He has 2 pair on the top. So he's got it kind of locked up here a little bit. Well, Los's 2 pair is better though, so this might go. This might be a chop top pot here.
4 hearts on the bottom board.
Johnny also has a flush draw on one board and a set on the other.
Check from seat 9 to seat 4.
Lynn's obviously just dominating on one board. He's got something on the other board, but he probably wants to bet out and get some more money in this pot while he has the best hand right now on one board. So I could see a full pot size or maybe around the 300 to 500 range.
5 from seat 6.
It's gonna make it 325. It's a good bet sizing there. Nut flush draw would definitely call, I would think, on the top. It's really hard for someone else to. It's really hard for someone to have something on both boards. Is what you'd like to have when you're playing a bigger PLO game. You want to have or palm pot. You want to have something on both, and Los doesn't have. He has 2 pair on one. He's got 2 pair on the other, but that obvious flush draw on the bottom board is a tough one, right? Because he blocks. Well, the other board blocks some of his outs to get a boat, and his opponent's not betting this unless he has the nut flush most of the time. That was really good of Corey to get out of there. Corey had the 8-10 of diamonds, and he just recognized he's never good, and it's really tough drawing to a straight flush. I've actually only had that once in a bomb pot.
Fold from seat 9. Action check to seat 4. Call 325.
Johnny does have a set. He's drawing. You never hear this term. He's drawing to a boat, and he knows he needs a boat. And the boat does not get there.
King of hearts on the bottom board. Check to seat 6. It's gonna put him all in.
Oh wow, Lynn backdoors a flush here.
6. That's 5.
So he's got. This is a scoop right now. Yeah, there's really no way, at least I don't think, there's no way that Johnny can call this spot. He just has a set, the straight even, and he does make the call. He puts them on maybe the hearts.
Top I have nut flush. Bottom I have ace, nut flush, flush.
Yeah, you got nut flush on both.
Nut flush on both.
Actually, Lynn had the nut flush on both. That's really hard to do.
I know you have to stop when I thought you were drawing on the turn of the Don't worry about that straight.
Thank you, appreciate it. Liv.
Yeah. I'm not doing. No, you just got half.
I had A7 on
That
the
really
bottom,
changed
top
the
2,
mood
and then
right
the
now.
king hit, and I would have had top 2 again, but I knew it.
Nice little queen high flush draw.
1, 2. Both of them are 1, 2.
125 and for kilo.
For kilo, 1, 2.
Five to come in, yeah.
Hey, how's it
Okay.
going, everybody? All right, so
What did you have on the bottom?
junkie now, right?
I had A7.
No, I know here, boss. $2.
S2.
We're on hold then.
him right now. Bun is in 7, yes. Maybe big one. Corey, can I get you a scanning? Thank you.
Sharky with a suited ace.
When you're folding, you're flashing cards up.
Oh, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got you.
So put it down.
C5 raises to 50. Fold. Fold.
I like this bet by Matt.
Heavy push out your chip.
Looking to try to isolate just one player. If he calls 15, 3 other players are going to call 15. So he realizes he's doesn't have the best hand pre-flop, but he's going to be able to isolate and go heads up. The 9-8 plays really well. And now Sharky flops the royal draw here, royal flush draw. Probably doesn't like the paired kings.
Yep, and check.
Well, Matt does pick up
30.
up and downer here. Sharky's going to bet relatively small. Matt's going to look him up. The flush gets there. He's definitely not getting any more value out of Matt. Matt, yeah, he's just going to lay it down.
Mr. Roll Flush.
Nice. Very nice. Buns in C8. Thank you.
3's great.
Threes. I pocket threes with the other people. Yes, that's enough. Roll flush for that. 6 years, 7 years.
Big blind here, 30 bucks.
Yes, you do, right? I thought so. Look, it's a nice flop, but it's a scary flop, right? You got King Jack, King, anything pocket kings. It's still not a
Grandy's king in sure.
yeah, of course, sorry. Still not a great board.
C2 raises to 10.
Jack
Fold. C5 he raises to 35.
All right, here we go. Brutus raise
Call.
relatively small. We don't see his mystery hand here. Matt
Minute 35.
got suited connectors.
Fold.
Lynn's got the real hand here. He's got pocket jacks.
C2 he raises to 145.
Make it 35. He 3-bets it. It's a little light. No, Brutus 4-betted. I apologize. He makes it 145, so that really caps his range. It's always a tell when somebody's eating food as they're 4-betting you. This really narrows his range to ace, king, ace, queen, aces, kings, queens. Matt is going to call because he knows, I believe he knows exactly where Brutus is, and if he hits his hand, it could be a really big pot. Lynn's in more of a tough spot. He has a really good hand, but it's so vulnerable to a 4-bet here. And his 4-bet was really quick, so it's usually indicative of a really big hand. And I know Brutus doesn't know these two other players, so him betting without caution there is really indicative. I actually like to see Brutus with a little bit bigger sizing there, since there was a 3rd bet. Make it really pricey. So now he's going to go multi-way. I do see 2 clubs. Well, Matt's... No, I'm sorry, I only see 1 club. That's a spade.
That's 200.
So this is easy for Matt, right? He called to want to see a flop. He now knows he's way behind. He missed the whole flop. This is easy for him to get away from. Not as easy for Lynn. There's 1 over to his card. I think Lynn knows he's way behind. Ace queen gets there. He beats ace king, but his opponent's only betting a certain number of hands here, right? Ace king, ace queen, queens, kings, and aces. So there's 4 hands that his opponent could have, and he really only beats 1 hand. He beats ace king. Now, Lynn does have a gutter to a straight, a 9. Oh, wow, he hits it. He hits the 9. He has the straight, and he blocks other straights, right, because he has 2 jacks. So it's less likely his opponent has an ace jack. And typically in a 4-bet hand, you don't see a player playing ace jack. And Brutus is going to recognize this and slow down a little bit. Lynn is going to probably look for value here. He can make it look bluffy with a big overbet, seeing how the clubs miss, but I really don't see Lynn in that position having clubs there. So
Seat 6, that's 275 and a fold.
Brutus is going to instantly lay it down. Lynn is going to win another pot.
Last and hold'em. Dollar here at 2 bucks. NLH 5, 3. Adding 6. T5 is adding 600.
I'm curious to know what Brutus had there. He bet so quickly. He had something really good. Could have been just ace king though, and he c-bet that.
We got a card.
Gray's been quiet. Looks up with a nice suited ace here. I think. Yeah, did he just limp in, or did he put a straddle in? I'm not sure. Lynn has a playable. I think Gray was just in a straddle, where he limped in. Lynn's gonna raise his suited queen. Very good looking hand to 20. Corey 3-bets to 60. And Gray is just gonna call. I don't mind the call there. I think, especially being out of position against 2 others, it's fine. Maybe you could just play this hand as either I smash it or I don't. I know he does want to see just an ace though. Most likely his opponents have the ace. I do see 2 diamonds on the flop. Lynn's gonna flop a flush draw. Corey has the overpair. And Lynn's gonna bet out at this. He's gonna take the lead here. It's tough for anybody to have a 2, although it is possible ace 2 comes into play. That's basically what Lynn is saying. I was going to say that 2 favors Gray's position, seeing as how he just called. Core is still in the lead. The pot is already at 300. Lynn is going to continue to fire as he can't really be afraid of that 6. I think if you're a core, you have to call, but you don't like it. Eight of diamonds would be a very action card there.
5 of diamonds on the river. It's not popping up on the screen.
5 of diamonds on the river. So Lynn gets there with his flush.
Seat 6 bets 180.
He's going to choose a very small sizing here. Math serves me. It's a third pot bet here. Sounds like looks like he wants a call. Played either way. And Corey still has the over here, but that 5 brings in everything. Brings in the flush, the obvious flush. It brings in straights. I mean, there's just so much that beats Corey there, and he's just gonna lay this down. Lynn now, who's only been here for a little bit, is our big winner so far, 1.8K, followed by Gray and Los and Matt.
Add on as well when you're ready. Alright guys, let's peel up. Okay. C2 adds on 1226. 1226. C2. C5 adds on 300. Gotta be like 10.
Is it PLO this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
10 to travel.
300. And now it's PLO. Yes.
As you can see, this matches stack. These stacks have already gotten really big. We got a couple of 3K stacks already. We are back to PLO. Looks like.
Yeah, Mr.
Matt,
Wayne, you guys can
4 clubs is no good in PLO there.
yeah, just wash the cards. Wash the cards over this game. There you go. Alright.
Lynn's gonna lay his down. Let's see what Mr. Wayne does.
125 PLO.
See, Lynn lays down the ace king. He's played PLO before.
7 calls 5.
Mr. Wayne is suited to the king here. It's worthy of just a call.
9.
Corey folds, and we have Los.
1, 52.
Got a suited king of his own with a pair,
Yep, more players.
and 2 suits with Gray. Mr. Wayne does have a queen, so he really smashed his flaws compared to everybody else. Sharky did call with 3 6s. That's really bad luck to have 3 6s there. And he didn't have any cards that were suited as well. We do have 2 spades on the flop, Mr. Wayne. Not only does he have a queen, but he has 2 spades, so he's really just dominating this board. And I don't really see anybody playing with him
25. 5 more, please.
in this pot.
I understand. Action is now on seat 9. That's a stretch. I know it's a $1 small blind, no 5.
That's what it is, though.
Cool.
Yeah, nobody has really anything here. Gray's gonna fold too, and Mr. Wayne is going to win a small pot, but at least he didn't lose.
Well, it's my raise at 10, but there was no raise.
Thank
My hand was not shitty.
So it's fine, but I don't complete the action. I can't be re-raised.
I probably pulled mine from yours, but use that.
Can't be re-raised.
There's nothing to
Okay, VPIPs went down a little bit because we did play a round of Hold'em, but they will definitely go back up.
I've won a hand with 4 deuces in my
I think that was it for Johnny. I think Johnny Poker
Somehow I was on big blind, had 4 deuces.
Poker is done for the night, at least on the street. All right. I want to thank everybody that's in the chat. Thank you. We appreciate you following along. I know you have a lot of things to choose from to do, including this football game that I'm actually watching in front of me as we speak. I think it's 3-0 at halftime. Oh, that's
It's not, none of the cards are showing up right now.
that's a tough one. I didn't think you could get worse than last Thursday's game, but this one is.
Okay.
For all those who are playing any fantasy sports, have players in this game, I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good. All right.
Lynn has hearts, and he's got a big pocket pair. Some connectivity to his straight.
now they
Could
are.
block a lot of straights, but it's not really a strong hand. He's just gonna not even play that. So I actually like that. Let's see what Mr. Wayne has. Lois has a suited king. Lois is playing a lot of hands right now. And Brutus has the diamonds. The nut diamond draw if you saw any diamonds. So Queen 10 gets there. Gray has pocket queens. He blocks that. Brutus has ace 10. That's a tough one, right? Because Queen 10's already there. Gray's going to lay down his blockers, which is obviously is a good bet here. And Mr. Wayne is also going to fold, and Los is going to take this down. He seems to be a little shocked by it.
Oh yeah, there we go. Go get a beverage, Mike. That's not over yet.
These are probably my last few hands, but guys, I got some pizza for everybody.
Thank you.
There's a cheese here if anybody's vegetarian.
Oh, they bought pizza for everybody. That's really nice of them.
Corey and Los, can I get you guys to stand in?
I probably can't eat pizza myself, but
There you go.
certainly can admire others doing it. Now this is a much nicer hand by Los. He's got wheel draw. He's got the nut flush draw, and he's got a really good pocket pair. Brutus has a better pocket pair.
Six calls, 3 flares.
Lynn is going to call with his ace-king. Remember, he folded his ace-king under the gun last time, but he's going to call it this time. He's in a little bit better position. So 7-8 would be the nuts here. As it is right now, Lynn has a gut shot only. Los has the over pair, which is actually not good because Brutus has a better over pair. And I think Brutus folded. Los is going to take it down. Los has won a lot of pots, but just pure aggression when he was not in the lead.
G2. Are you slow poker?
No. I just bought a shirt.
Oh, okay.
You seen him?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I've seen a few videos. Really good.
I'm not as good looking.
Oh yeah. He's from same casino, hometown casino. Yeah.
He's up in North Carolina.
Huh?
He's in North Carolina.
Oh really?
He travels everywhere.
Yeah.
He was just on Hustler. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
The guy goes in blind and he's like tanks it.
Did you want Mr. Big Blind, Mr. Wayne?
Talking about another poker vlogger, Slow Poker. Brutus is wearing, he's repping the Slow Poker t-shirt. I played with him. He's a really good player. He's doesn't play Texas style, so he's very ABC GTO player. But his videos are hilarious. They're really good. There are a lot of poker vloggers out there. Let me know in the chat if you listen to any of the vloggers and kind of who is your favorite one. And you can't say Brad or Andrew. Those are the obvious choices.
Okay.
Yeah, I can smell the pizza in this room. The players are enjoying it right now.
Dude, it's not showing up like the first minute, so I can't even see it. Yeah, C9 raises to 15.
Los is going to raise it. He's suited king jack and pair of jacks. Nice hand. Sharky with his own suited ace and with pocket aces. He'd wish that 9 of hearts was a diamond. Really increase his equity there, but It's good enough to call. Obviously, he could even like to raise this.
Sorry, Matt.
I typically wouldn't advocate raising
Yep.
a 3-betting a hand with just a big pocket pair, unless you are double suited or at least have one suit to the ace. Brutus is going to make a good fold down there. And Gray's waking up with queens again. So you're not going to stand the heat with a 3-bet there in PLO. So Los is definitely calling this. He is behind. Sharky does have one of his jacks as well. See a queen. Well, Sharky flops, not flush draw, that's what you want to see. That queen is probably going to help Los because it's over his jacks there. Sharky hasn't played a lot of hands, so if he bets, he's usually pretty strong there. He's hoping, Los does call, he's hoping that, well, doesn't matter now, but he was hoping Sharky was just on the flush draw. And now he made his flush. I think Los is going to rep this. And most of the time it would work. But since he just called the bet on the flop, but yeah, this is a, I don't want to say it's a mistake. It's always nice to take the pot down now. Straight flush draw is out there, but I'd like to see him just call this. He really just, he's not going to get paid any more money. Yeah, Los is trying to go back through the hand, trying to figure out where his opponent's at, and you know, could this ever be a bluff? This is almost never a bluff. He could even improve. There's no river card that's going to help him either. Los knows this, and he's just trying to go through it. It's so strong, Sharky's bet. I'm a big believer in how fast you bet. Kind of dictates sometimes the strength, although it backfires on me all the time. But
I know three bet a lot. Alright, in a fold.
I had in my head it was about 3 times that, not 6 times. I'm like, oh my god. Live and learn.
Oh, bomb pot.
and we are having a bomb pot.
Bomb pot. Or you guys doing 10? Okay, $10 bomb pot.
Again, bomb pots look like it's PLO. It's a double board PLO game, no pre-flop action again. So everybody gets to see a flop. The ante is $10, so, and it's pot limit. These typically get really, really huge every time you want to pot it. So the first pot's 90, and if someone just pots it, then repots it, you're almost at 300 here. Sometimes people ask me, doesn't this benefit PLO players? And I don't think so, because it's not true PLO. There are no ranges pre. If you're not a PLO player, it's nice because you get to see the flop.
Alright, everyone's played 2 piece. Seat 9 is out again.
Looks like seat 9. Los is going to add on even more. He wants to be able to keep that advantage. So we're getting stacks way up there.
Try to scan in, Paul. There we go. Perfect. Alright, here we go, boys.
All right, Texas bomb pots. Here we go. 3 boards.
With a $1,000 buy-in, and it turned into 2-5 hybrid, 500.
Pocket aces.
There's no burn card in between flops. Okay, so there is a spades out there, so I'm always looking for see somebody has spades. Aces, kings, or jacks. You see Sharky has a pair of sevens. Very uninspiring. Los has a gut shot on both boards. So he'll need a 10 on both. Brutus has ace king, so he has top 2 and he has top 2 on both boards. So this is really strong. So I like his lead out. There is a flush draw and there's all kinds of straight draws out there. He would definitely know. He knows if he's going to get called by all those draws, so he wants to charge them for that. Los is probably going to call as well. He is drawing to the effective nuts on both boards. Ooh, oh, that is kind of an action card. The spades, did the spades get there? The spades got there. So did Los's straight, however.
175.
Brutus cannot like that 3, as if Gray has a 3, so Gray actually has a boat. What if he's going to raise this? He just calls. I really like the call there. You're drawing. You don't have anything on the top. So it's the 2 of spades, top, or 4 diamonds on the bottom. Well, this is going to be a looks like a chop pot here. No, let me just double check. See, it takes me a second. So he has 2 pair on one board. So yeah, this is a chop pot. He probably didn't think the Jack 8 was the one he was going to win, but it was. And as we can see now, no one had the spades, and Los would have made a straight, but he had nothing on the other board. And I think that was a good call. Once that 3 came, Los is gonna be out of there. Double pairs the board on the one flop.
$1 here. You want to put in your big blind? Still on PLO.
Lynn is still our leader. He's only played a few hands, but he's gotten it in good. Gray also showing a nice profit, and Matt's up 700 as well.
See, what I was worried about is, let's say you got to sit.
No action, sir. Sun 1, yeah. Because that's the bump up on him just backwards. Another one?
What's up with these cards?
When if
Alright,
there's like a sticker
Gray
on
and
top,
Matt, have you
does it
guys
have
seen
RFID
that?
in them?
That is.
And then they catch on that.
Okay, you're good,
sticker on
Matt.
the
Okay, sorry, this is so slow on the screen. Is it still not scanned in? C3?
Yeah, don't.
Sharky's got all kind of connecting cards here. His queen is suited. He's looking for a 10 on the flop. He can work with anything, but he needs a 10. He's really going for the straight here. Brutus has double suited here. Really nice hand. Ace 9 of diamonds, 10-8. So he's got all kinds of straight opportunities, and he's got 2 flushes to draw to. Len as well has a suited ace. You almost always see suited aces playing. Any bet. Brutus is going to bring it in for a 3-bet. Try to narrow down the field just a tad. Mr. Wayne has a nice hand. He has a suited ace as well with a bigger pocket pair, with the only pocket pair. So some nice hands going to the flop here. Saw a diamond. I don't see anybody with a 4. So Sharky's going to outflop momentarily with 2 pair here. Brutus, that's probably the worst flop Brutus could see. He's backdoor flush, but the board's already paired. He's going to c-bet it though, hoping that no one else has anything. He's going to rep that 4 at least, or flush draw. He is actually way behind the others at the moment, but nobody can really know that. Mr. Wayne, Mr. Wayne's going to look him up. Mr. Wayne is going to look him up. And he is correct. He is ahead. Well, Sharky is ahead. It's tough to call this. You have a bet and you have a call. Wait, there must have been a raise somewhere. Oh, Sharky raises it. Wow, I like that play much better.
260.
He's really repping that 4, and it's tough for... I wonder if these cards scan correctly. That's an ambitious call by Mr. Wayne. I never see Sharky ever bluffing in that situation. So the Jack of Hearts doesn't really help anybody. I mean, it does help Sharky with his 2 pair now. Mr. Wayne does have a gut shot to a straight, so a 10 would help them. And Sharky does check. Mr. Wayne, does he? Yeah, he goes all. Does he go all in?
He's 10 behind.
So it's only 160. He's really repping that 4. He just didn't have enough money
He's raising all in.
to get anyone off the hand. That was the problem. I think if he had close to 1,000, he could just get away from it. But
Yeah. As long as the interval's a 5.
No, we don't count the one.
So there's the.
Yeah, there we go. 170.
All right.
so there's a big pot here. 1.2 in the pot. Mr. Wayne needs, I'm just trying to figure out what he needs. He needs a 10 for a straight, am I correct? He needs a 10 or a queen. Oh, no, I'm sorry, that was Sharky. No, there,
Got me showdown.
he needed a 10. Mr. Wayne did. That's right, the first time. So it was an ace of hearts.
No.
No kings and jacks, Oh, ace and 4s.
Yeah,
Oh,
aces
you're
and
shitting
4s
me.
with the queen.
Yep.
I apologize, I must have missed something here. Mr. Wayne's going
I can't
to
believe you make the call, though. You gotta
take
put
this with aces and 4s.
You don't?
No, that's
With the rebet?
tough. Watching how the cards been playing. Watching how they've been flopping out stuff.
Wow. Mr. Wayne's going to take that down with I didn't even see the better 2 pair. And the Sharky is questioning why he called. Sir, he can play any hand he wants to, and that's the hand he wanted to play. And he won a big pot there. That was I didn't see that one coming. So I didn't even think of getting an ace would be an out. So
Yes, let's feel on him. Or no.
Mr. Wayne takes that one down. Good for him. Just shake it off, Sharky.
Los, you want the small boy?
You made the right decision. You just got unlucky. It happens to everybody.
Yeah, correct. Someone's in orbit, basically. So that's going backwards. This one's going this way.
Took me a minute to figure out how Mr. Wayne won that pot. Oh yeah, he had a better 2 pair. So yeah,
You don't want the small boy?
aces and 4s with a
Oh,
queen
you're
kicker.
Oh, gotcha.
Another 400.
All right. So, got it on 200? 400? 400?
I actually think that pot is much bigger than I thought it should be. Both players seem to be repping that 4.
Big black star. Yellow light star.
All right, Mr. Wayne's full is showing a profit now of just over 600.
Alright, yeah, see, it's all showing yellow on my end.
Turkey's the only one.
Okay, just see one.
There you go.
Sharky. There we go, perfect. Thanks, guys. Alright, live 20 to call. Fold. Fold. So then the small and big will combined still kind of side then, right?
Yeah.
Now it's a call.
Yeah, top 5.
Right, that's what it is. Okay. 80, 100, 120. C3 raises to 120. Oh, it's 20. The last 20 costs 20.
Mr. Wayne's going to follow that up with ace queen suited. No, he's got, sorry, ace nine suited with the queen.
Oh, he straddled. Okay, yeah, okay. I
So
was
it's a
like,
live 10 and then a live 20.
got it.
And then, yeah, C3 made it 120. Yes.
And back to that
We have a full.
that last hand where Mr. Wayne called, he didn't have much left behind him. He had a lot of money already invested in it. So I can see why he called. I know he's seen other players flip up hands that were less than the nuts, so we'll say so. All right, so 4-8, 8-9 would be the effective nuts here. We see two pair by Sharky. Brutus, nothing. We're already up to the turn here. Sharky's going to win a nice little pot, although I'm sure it's no constellation.
Thank you, sir. Last hand of PLO.
Again, thank you everybody in the chat for watching. Make sure you do us a favor, and you probably know what I'm going to say, but if you don't mind hitting that like button if you like this crazy Texas action. It's funny because when I go to other places, like if I go to Vegas sometimes, and I consider myself more of a tighter, rangy GTO player here in Texas, but when I go to Vegas, they often call me a maniac, and I'm just like, never been called that before. So Texas is definitely a different breed of poker here. Oh, you can actually see me in the back there in the control booth with the tattoos. I just noticed that. Right behind Matt there.
Sonny, I'm scanning. Okay. Alright, 5 calls. Then we have a fold. Thank you.
Alright, Matt's double suited here. It's good enough to call. They are also connected. Los has some connecting straight cards there. Although his 10-9 is suited as well, but he's probably not relying on the spades. All right, we have a flop of 8-5-4. 6-7 is the nuts so far. I don't see that in anybody's hand. I do see Sharky with 10-6. This really doesn't mean a lot there. All right, 10-6 will bring in a gutter for Sharky. Gray with 2 pair. Matt with a gut shot. These hands may not call. I expect Gray to call. And Matt is also going to call, so that shows you what I know. Los is probably calling as well. He's got I think he's double gutter there. All right, so Gray's going to get there. Calling 2 pair. You always want to see your top pair and the 2 pair up. It's a lot of pair. But Gray's going to really get there, but just don't see, nobody else has anything to really call with. And the pot's only 150. He's going to go 2/3 pot here, basically. I mean, nobody can call. Yeah, there's
450. So seat 9 is raising the 450.
Oh, wow. So Sharky's going to turn his hand into a bluff. He's going to be repping exactly what Gray has. Gray's got to be loving this. I think Gray just calls. I don't see... I don't see him pushing the action here. Pocket 9s beat you. Pocket 8s, you can't really put your opponent on that, but he could be tricky enough to have pocket 8s there that just boated up on the river. So, and if you bet and you're ahead, you're not going to get a call. You're only going to get a call if you are beat. So, I'm be interested to see how he plays this. These 2 players are the ones in the profit, along with Lynn and Matt, and now Mr. Wayne. So I'm sure Gray doesn't want his profit to go down, so I expect him just to call here. Although he could jam it and hopefully a single 5 or a straight calls him, but that's very ambitious on Gray's part, and I don't think Los is going to play that.
And a call for C3.
Yeah, I like just the call there from Gray. There are other boats that beat him for sure. So and Los is berating him, saying it took you forever to call that. Well, it's not as easy as it sounds.
All right, back to holding. 1-2 holding.
It's a nice pot for Gray. Gray's playing really well. He's being very selective. He doesn't have the highest VPIP on the table, but he is definitely winning at poker.
Nice ball. Here, Sharky, have you scan in? Perfect, thank you. You got a full, Off the seat 9.
Throttle.
Yes, the left one.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
All right. 33.
C1 raises to 33. Hold C2.
All right, here we go. Gray has a suited ace.
Fold C5.
You always want to see a flop with that.
He's a great dealer at the lodge. So you
And a
heard him.
fold.
Every time a number comes out, he's got a name or a phrase.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Actually, I haven't seen him in a while. And then I
So we
saw
have a
him the
couple
last
of
2 days.
aces going heads up. I actually like the suited ace better. It draws through the nuts better, but then we have that flop, which is not going to help anybody. But Sharky is the pre-flop aggressor. He's going to c-bet this, and yeah, this is going to be an insta-fold. Although Gray did have backdoors, I imagine he would call if the board wasn't paired, but as it is, Sharky had the best hand and he wins it.
C6 is going to be a live 5.
Put you in the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, you already scanned your card. Good job.
And I'm amazing.
What is he gonna get? We already know.
Pocket kings.
We go back to that one hand between Los and Gray. I like Los's bluff at tip. He knew he wasn't going to win at showdown if he just called, so he was really going for the pop. He did make Gray think about it, although he was pretty netted up there. He did make Gray think about it for a little bit. So if he had anything less
Before it was even started, so
than that full house, he would have definitely folded. So
Alright, we got a call for C7. I know, we got a call for C7 and a call for C9.
all right, we have a touchdown in tonight's game. So Chicago scores a touchdown. I don't know who did it, but I'm looking right at it. So
Call from C3.
and we are in the third quarter. Sharky wakes up with the same hand again. I believe that's the same hand. Ace 10 off. Matt has ace jack off. That sounded funny. Sorry, guys. And then Mr. Wayne has a couple of Broadway cards in his hand. And Los
5
has
raises to 200.
3-4 off. And we do not know what Gray has. But he did call the 35. Looks like. All right, we have.
hey Juan,
Oh, Matt 3-better. I like the bet.
this thing's
Ace Jack is looks nice. It's not even suited, but you typically want to bring it in for 3-bet versus a call. Ace Jack is more you want to ISO somebody. That would if he didn't raise that, it would have gone 4 or 5 ways. And Ace Jack is never ever good most of the time with that.
That's a live 5. C9 is a live
That's some mid pockets. You want to see a flop?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
He and Matt would I mean, he wouldn't mind a flop, but he'd rather just play against one person in that pot versus the full table, obviously.
Alright guys, live 10, send the, oh.
All right, we have, looks like we have a double, or no, we have a straddled 10.
Sorry, the battery running low is kind of blocking it a little bit.
One always just doesn't work.
Yeah, there's always one of those.
You know, some people ask, what's the benefit of straddling? Well, one, if you can get everybody to straddle the table, it just makes the game bigger, you know, and looser. Not that Texas poker needs to be looser, but you know, if you do straddle, you get to be, you get to be last to act pre-flop, and that is a benefit. You get to see everybody's action. And instead of being first act pre-flop, being under the gun is the worst position you can be in. So pre-flop, so if you can take that away and be first and last act, it definitely can help make some decisions for you down when you get to your turn. You get to see everybody's action. We're going to another bomb pot here. Again, $10 bomb pot. 2 flops. Everybody gets to see it. No pre-flop action. It's funny. A lot of people don't like bomb pots, but they're the same people who always ask, "Where's the bomb pot button?"
Jack 9, Jack
I
10.
bomb pots have come a staple with
I'll be playing Jack 9, Jack
any Texas room you go to. They even have tables just bomb pots only. $5 bomb pot tables.
Guy, he's on Hustler Casino.
Those are some crazy, crazy swings.
Really, man. And like when you're like if you're ever in a hand with him and that's on the board, like you gotta run for the hills.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
you know, have to waste some room.
All right, guys, I'm going to step away just for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, let's do his bet. And everyone's like, oh, you got it.
Get paid out of it.
Paul and Matt and Mr. Wayne, can I let you guys stand in? Wash off 4 over. Alright. So, yeah, like wash all 4 cards over. Yeah, that's what I said. It's PLO double board. Yeah, it's a bomb pot.
Do it again.
Everybody's trying.
That's okay. Okay. Sorry guys. Scanning again, Mr. Wayne and Sharky. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think C7 is not scanning in. I think that's the problem with the Raider. Yeah.
It's like one card.
Use the spades, Jack of spades, 4 of hearts. First that. Check, check. Seat 9 bets 30. Cool. Okay. Call for seat 1. Hold, hold. Hold.
The best one's the one that will lose you $10.
Call. On the call. Good hearts. Check, check. Seat 9 bets 55.
What's the pot?
Pot is going to be 5 and 10, 165 plus 190 to be 355. Seat 1 is making it 355. We have a fold.
All right, guys, I am back. Apologize for that. Looks like we're in a bomb pot, still in the bomb pot here. Let's see what we got. Well, Los has a boat on the bottom, and Sharky has top set, although there are 2 suits out there that he does not have. He blocks it a little with his queen of spades, 5 of hearts. Mr. Wayne calls the big bet from Sharky. And we'll see if Los elects to push here. He's only got 1 board, and he knows it. Oh, he does have a flush draw. I apologize. He does have the king high flush draw, which may be good enough for him to get it all in here.
1,000.
There's a couple of big hands running into each other.
Seat 9 is raised into 1,000.
Mr. Wayne is, I don't see his cards. He must have some sort of nutted hand as well.
1,230.
Pocket 5s maybe. He's got something like that. He's got a boat somehow, and maybe a 2, or he's got 2 nut flush draws on both boards. So I guess we're gonna find out here. Yeah. That was a nice 3-bet for Los here. He's pretty strong. I mean, obviously he's really strong with the boat on one board and a flush on the other board. It's a really tough spot for Sharky here. He was the initial raiser on this turn, or initial bet. Yeah, he made it 355. Sharky now knows he's no good unless he gets a queen on the bottom. But he can't fold. And when you play bomb pots, you always want to have it 3 ways, because you always have a chop board, right? So having that third person in there, at least 2 players are making profit here. And this is going to put Mr. Wayne all in. Yeah, Mr. Wayne is definitely drawing to the nuts here, I would imagine. Unless he has pocket 7s, but Los blocks a little bit of that. Yeah, I'm going to put Mr. Wayne on the ace, the nut flush draw. And his opponents only have 2 hearts between their 8 cards, so that's really good. I'm thinking the hearts are going to hit on one of these for sure. So that's what I'm putting Mr. Wayne on. Nut flush draw. Ace of hearts, ace 9 of hearts. He's probably got some sort of straight draw to go with it. Maybe he's got ace 9, 10 of hearts, something like that, somewhere in that range. This will be our biggest pot of the night. We're almost at $4,000 here, so. I mean, Sharky does have a diamond draw on the bottom with a gutter. But he's got to know his diamonds are no good there. Hearts get there. Oh, that's on the wrong board. So.
And a call from seat 1. 7-3. That's what I thought.
Oh wow, that's
No, not yet.
not sure.
So you guys are pointing your guys' back. Yes, I got you.
So it looks like Los and Sharky chop the main. Oh no, chop the side pot. Now we get to see what.
Oh no.
Pocket 7s, I'm guessing now. Oh, he had a better boat. 3-7 versus 5-3. Oh no, it's a chop pot. I'm so sorry. It looks like it's this. They both had 7-3.
Oh, he had a bigger boat? Oh yeah, he
Did
did.
he?
He had 3.
Oh, I'm all over the place, guys. He had the Jack 3.
Went from quarter to wishing I was quarter. That was a nice one.
I know, right?
How did that? Oh.
It was a little bit unlucky for Los there. As Sharky and Mr. Wayne will be chopping.
That's out there. Straight up calls out. Yeah, one of them. Three first. Oh, that's good. Bomb pots will make it break it.
Unfortunate for Los there.
Thank you.
Chips are flying.
I know when I riveted it, I instantly folded it.
You know that if it's been the other way, that the 3 it comes,
Yeah,
I get the
special.
straight, and or if the diamond comes, I get the flush.
Lynn's still leading the way. He's been really quiet though.
I open folded the full house and hit them on the river. I saw a lot of diamonds, like shit, the diamonds hit that muck. And it's a pretty big pot. And they're like, oh, and they saw my hand, so I opened up. Like, you folded the full house. I what full house? I didn't do anything.
If anybody wants to tell me who scored the touchdown for the Bears, I would appreciate it.
They're like, man, that was such a good read. Best hold of my life. Even though it's
Most guys scanning boss.
That's the happy one. It's better than a red and a green.
Alright.
That's better than a red and a white, or white and a red. White and a red, I think.
We're back on the.
That was the ball. Okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
Call. Call. Yeah, sorry. Call from 9. Race to 10 from 3. Call from 5. Call from 6. Call from 7.
Oh, they actually scored some points?
Call from 9.
All right, we are back to Hold'em where Mr. Wayne, who's running hot, playing well, picks up a big pocket pair. He just calls. I mean, this might work out for him as I don't see anybody flopping 2 pair here. But it's, oh no, I'm behind the action. I apologize. Mr. Wayne did. No, he did call just the flop. No, he did call it pre-flop, and then now he's raising, or he's betting 55. He's going to get 3 callers here. It's not what he wants. 6-4 gets there. He low binks this.
C7 bets 55.
This looks like he's going to get a double up here. Mr. Wayne's going to go with the same bet, and I expect a raise to come here with that flush draw out.
Yeah. Easier.
Yeah, this is the problem with just trying to play tricky with kings or aces. Not raising it pre. You're going to get yourself in this spot right here where you're actually drawing dead. There's not a card in the deck that can help Mr. Wayne win this pot.
Representing? Huh? He's representing South Africa.
Although that's one of them. He could rep a boat, but it's highly unlikely, and there's no way.
Just start speaking some African.
There's no way that Los is going to fold ever. You would think a set on this before the flop would have re-raised Los, so he knows exactly where he's at. That's a tough.
Now, you might not speak off the tongue like fluently, like if you speak it at home, but you would understand.
And Los is going to get paid. It's not very often 6-4 offsuit beats pocket kings, but if you don't raise pre-flop to isolate, it's kind of like what's going to happen.
You know we have 13 different languages. All right, guys, thank you very much.
Yeah, there's so much that beats pocket kings. Remember, kings are only 1 pair. I mean, there were trips out there, 2 pairs. Although now, with that 3, pocket kings beats most 2 pairs.
Yo. Alright, so.
Which is probably what Mr. Wayne was thinking. My opponent somehow flopped 2 pair.
After,
That 3 really helped me, and I have a better 2 pair.
I'll have 1,000. Okay.
Sharky wakes up with some pocket pairs. Pocket jacks. I think he is under the gun. I personally hate seeing jacks under the gun. You know you have to raise.
Call 2, seat 1.
But
Raise to 15, seat
a lot of people just don't like that hand.
Raise 50 total now. Seat 3.
So
Fold, seat 5.
Brutus is going to raise. He's been a little quiet
Fold, 6 and 7.
last couple of hands.
Fold.
See, poker news.
3 for 15.
My bad.
3 and halfway.
Gray's going to 3-bet this to 50. Now Gray doesn't strike me as a splashy, aggressive player, and he's going to use that image to bump this up. Obviously, Sharky could have just raised there, but Sharky's going to call him. I think Brutus will also find a call as well.
I knew one of you guys were going to fire. Oh, where's
Seat
hand?
three folds, seat one.
Oh, 3-2.
I could have cracked that.
Shows
Oh,
jack.
no.
Oh, the jacks did raise, so
You should have. But it's going to cost you 175. You want to crack it?
And I better hit on the flop, it's going to cost me a lot more.
I know, right? Flop comes 10-9-4. I'm firing.
What if it comes like 9-3-2?
I'm firing.
You're done. You'd be in trouble.
Am I dead? Pocket trees. Trees. Don't tell me 9-3. The door Brunson.
10-9-2. That's all I need.
Is it on me?
Three, nine is here. Okay, I got to raise to 10 and call 10 from seat 3. Raise to 60, seat 5. Fold 6 and 7.
Matt's picked up a nice pocket pair here. He's going to 3-bet it to 60. Brutus is getting a lot of king-queen offsuit. It's got to be a little frustrating for him, but he's out of position here. He simply can't call. There's just such a huge difference in how you can play a hand based on your position. Now, Gray calls because Brutus could be dominating with those high cards. Ace-king, ace-queen makes that type of 3-bet raise that Matt did. But Gray knows that he has 2 live cards here.
Check, check. Sorry. You're waiting on me?
No, you checked it, did you?
Oh, I apologize.
No,
I'm just acknowledging each other.
I apologize, sir. Action is on C5 now. 75 is the bet. Fold. C5 takes down the pot.
And Matt wins another pot there. Given the fact that Matt, and I always talk about ranges and things like that, but Matt was the pre-flop aggressor with his 3-bet, so that ace, that flop is going to hit him. Obviously more than Gray's. Gray was really looking for some sort of draw or 2-pair hand there.
Okay, I have a
Call,
straddle,
re-raise.
live 5, C3.
I do see chips in seat 4, so I'm interested to see who's going to join this lineup.
Okay, I have a live 5.
There's really a lot of action tonight.
Live 10 from C5.
Lynn wakes up. Lynn very quiet. Wakes up with a big pocket pair here.
Yeah, he put it up. I didn't see it. So I have 5 and like 5 and 10, and then you got a rescan. Doing. I have a raise.
So it's $10 to call for them, but I'm sure he's going to put in a raise. Yeah, he's going to make it 35. That's been kind of your standard open here,
Actions on 1.
given the fact that there was a straddle on, I believe.
Action is on C5.
Nobody has anything to call with.
Back to C5. Call
Matt's
35.
going to speculate. Matt's also out of position, so he's going to have to really smash this flop here, something like 8-9, something like that. Well, that flop doesn't really help anybody. I'm sure Lynn doesn't like seeing that king-queen. He's going to check it down. I'd like to see a bet from Lynn there. Not that. Well, now Matt picked up some additional equity here with a flush draw now. He's got the 10 of clubs. It is good enough for him to lead out. Tough spot for Lynn. Matt could be checking back any king especially any queen there, to the aggressor. But now he's trying to build a pot here, so I wouldn't blame Lynn for folding this. And since Lynn didn't show any interest in that flop after being the pre-flop aggressor, Matt knew that he didn't have a king or a queen in that spot, and he could rep that. Given the fact that if Matt did have a queen or a king, he's always checking in that spot anyway to the pre-flop aggressor. Of course, that's my that's my analysis, my opinion. Lynn's still in the lead with Gray, Matt, and Mr. Wayne and Sharky, all showing a profit for this evening. Lowe's lost that one bomb pot hand. Or is it a PLO hand? I don't even remember.
If we got done early, I probably would have done something. But the things they had to do weren't, it was like touristy things, like go to some water park or do an actual photographic safari. I'm like, well, no, I've seen everything in the freaking wild. I don't need to go do that. So I didn't do any of it.
Yeah, I don't ever want to see another zebra or giraffe or fucking buffalo.
Did you see a zebra?
Thousands.
Saw lots of them. Yeah, I saw one and I shot one.
Dude, I don't think you understand. Every management conference, we go to like a safari. It's like so I've been to like 3. It feels like 3,000. It's probably 10, but it's like, I mean, and I go play golf and you can see giraffes and zebras from the golf course. So it's like I'm like over there. I mean, they're beautiful animals. Don't get me wrong.
No, giraffes are goofy.
Call 5, seat 6. Call 5, seat 7. Call 5.
All right, Mr. Wayne picks up with pocket aces, and he's got one suit with that, with the diamonds. Lowe's has a really nice hand. He's double suited here with both his suits connecting well. And they also connect a little bit with each other.
Call 5, seat 3.
Brutus, he's got the jack 9 of hearts and the queen as well. Gray has a very small pocket pair, and he's suited to the 7 of diamonds, but that's almost never good. It's a very interesting flop. So there's no flush draw out there. Mr. Wayne flops set. He is worried about the jack 10 that Lowe's has. Plus, he has backdoor diamonds, so he's pretty nutted up here. Brutus he's drawing to a chop. He's probably not going to call. Well, Mr. Wayne has an instant call here. He could even elect to raise, although I wouldn't recommend it. No flush draw out there. Wow, that is not a good card for Lowe's. Mr. Wayne hit his boat. He basically has top boat. Basically has the nuts right now. Because you don't think pocket kings would have let out with that flop earlier, so Mr. Wayne knows he's good here.
240 total now. I got a $50 bet from 9 and a pot on seats 8, 7.
I really like to see Mr. Wayne just call here. Well, Mr. Wayne raises it. I think Mr. Wayne, I think a lot of players could do this with a single king, maybe drawing to a boat and try to win it now, but I think it's pretty face up here that he's got some sort of boat here, whether it's king, queen, or a big pocket pair. Yeah. That's the thing about PLO. You can flop the nuts, and they never mean anything when you get to the river.
Like you decide up front whether it's a 5 or a 10 or whatever.
Yeah, it's like 25 or 100. It depends on the size of the game, but you have to pay everybody else that much if you want to. You're losing 8 times.
Really don't want to. Because near the end, if there's someone standing,
when it gets down to the last couple,
People start firing with
Oh,
the
yeah.
it'll get kind of crazy.
It's like one of my homeboys.
I like you, but this deal is way kinder to me, so thanks very much. Welcome back.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice to have you back.
Yeah, German's coming in seat 4, I believe. German, what'd you buy in for?
1,010.
1,010.
It's gonna warm up.
1,015. German, you want the big blind?
No, deal me out this one hand.
Okay.
Wait, is it Omaha?
Yeah. Yes.
Deal me in.
If it's Omaha, deal me in.
Yeah, we don't need more ones on the table. If you need to make changes, let me know, and I'll get rid of like the 50 I have over there.
So German's now in seat 4. He's bringing in with a little over 1K.
Every single one
On a
of
typical
you
mill
players.
and hold'em table, that's a good thing, but
You guys are screwed. No.
Matt wakes up.
All right, guys.
Pocket aces, not as strong as it would appear. They're not suited.
All right, you guys are all good.
This is definitely, you could see yourself just calling this.
This needs to be bigger.
So he has no ability to make a flush here. Remember in PLO you have to use 2 cards. Mr. Wayne, however, has a little bit more connectivity here to draws. He does have spades.
And then C2 calls, C3 calls.
Los is going to continue the aggression and raise this up. You can see if he can just get a few players versus the whole
Oh,
table
that's
in.
what you said, sorry. And a call. Seat 9. And then we got a call from 2, 3, 4, 5, and
I
7.
do not know what German has. I'm sure I'll find out in a second.
Okay.
And we also have pocket kings by Gray, and he is suited in 1 with the spades there. I see a king in the window, so that's top set. Clubs are there. I don't. All right, so Sharky's the only one with clubs, although he can't be happy about how high his draw is. So he went check all around.
60. C3 bet 60.
Gray is still dominating the board. There's no straight out there. There is a flush draw. Matt's in a tough spot here. He doesn't beat much. Again, pocket aces aren't as strong as they are in Hold'em, obviously. He does have 2 pair, though, 9 and 7. Any ace, 9, or 7 gives him a boat, so he is going to see that. It's only $60. He effectively has 3 pairs, and he just needs to pair up one of those hands. I'm sorry, the aces will only give him a set, so he's really looking for a 9 or a 7. He actually doesn't want an ace, he wants a 9 or a 7. And the queen's going to hit, so that's going to bring in some draws as far as straight draws here. That does bring in Jack 10, and Los blocks other straight draws, so it's less likely to be a chop here with his pocket pair 10s. Gray's going to bet out here. Feels like a blocker bet more so. And given the fact it's multi-way, I actually don't see Matt calling this. These 2 pairs are now very vulnerable to straights and better 2 pairs at the least, the minimum. So he's going to fold this. I'm sure he's thinking that. Plus there's another player in the hand that queen could have straightened out for somebody.
Worse than the Broncos Colts game.
What's that?
It might be worse than the Broncos Colts Thursday night.
John's like, can't be worse than last week.
No.
The worst football game of all time was the Lakers.
He is going to call. He's going to call with his 2 pair, and this is where I think Los is going to raise for sure. Obviously. He's got the nuts. The absolute nuts. He's really just working on sizing now. The pot is 535.
500, 770.
I mean, if he goes full pot, no one's calling here. But he makes it 7-7, so he goes pot size here. And this is the problem for Gray leading out like that. The board got really connected. He could have just checked and maybe done a just kind of a bluff catcher type hand in PLO, which is really hard to do. But I don't see Gray calling. You're thinking, wow, he's got top set. Yeah. And Los is never doing this without a better hand than trips, which is the straight in this case because it's multi-way. Los looks very comfortable. I think we know that Matt's not going to call this as well. And it looks like the Redskins scored. All right. Not a Redskins fan, by the way. Yeah, Matt's not going to call either.
450 with a top pair last time. I pulled the top set.
One pot?
Bomb pot, guys.
Sounds like we're doing a bomb pot here.
It's a PLO double pot now.
You don't even sound like you're from New York.
Wow, German's leading the way, 100% VPIP. He's only been in one hand, so it's a little misleading. I played with German a little bit at the tables here in a different club, I believe. And that's what PLO will do for you. There's some super high VPIPs in there that you normally wouldn't see on Hold'em. You rarely see a player over 50% in VPIP.
Auction. I put all my money on Durant and Luka. And I bet my whole life on the Bears.
No, there's no.
Game in the second half. Okay, half my life. I'm gonna cry if they lose. I'm gonna cry if they lose.
Scan your arm.
Alright, guys, can everyone scan in? Paul, can you push up the bomb pot button?
Why did the German show up today?
It's not
Alright,
working.
everyone's good.
Bears lost.
Yeah, I know. It's showing all yellow on my end still. I don't know why that screen up here isn't working.
It's just slow. This one's faster.
5 of diamonds, 3 of hearts,
Check.
2 of spades. Check, check. Check.
Bomb bot. You see 2 hearts down there. Let's take a scan. Yeah, Lynn has 2 hearts. And that is it. And then we have top set for Mr. Wayne. Mr. Wayne is hitting them. Playing well too. Sharky, nines, that's it. Oh, we have top set for Los. Los is getting some cards. I think Los has played really well. He's gotten unlucky in a spot or two, but I think he's played really, really well. I like his game. Very aggressive.
Okay, 105.
Who do I like?
Kind of knows where he's at. We'll make moves on you if
Seat
he
7
thinks
raises
he's
to 255.
you're weak there or if you'll fold. All right, so get back to the hand. Los also has a 5 top there. We do have, oh, Lynn he already has the straight.
I lived in Dallas for a while.
Gray has a straight draw.
And I'm half German, so when Dirk was there, you know.
Which half?
I saw pocket 5s earlier, so pocket 5s folded. I'm not sure who had the hand, if I saw that correctly.
Escucha.
Oh, shit.
That's an African joke.
Oh my god.
Well, you see the chat, everybody. We'll give away some free monthly memberships if we can get the viewers up to 25.
Taking black chips first.
My first girlfriend. Oh my god, that was the craziest shit ever.
So if you know anybody that enjoys Texas poker, please give them a shout out, text, call, and have them hop in. to watch the. I think we're down to our last half hour. So if we can get up to, if we can get to 25 viewers, we'll give away a couple of memberships.
It's gonna be a sweat, man. I feel like I might lose this bet. Could have took him plus 2.5. Under is no sweat.
Okay.
So the live bet was 20.5. Right before halftime. Never seen a live bet that low ever.
1850. 1,850.
Wow. Okay, so Los. Wow, Los is he's pretty much turned the world here. He's got a boat, and he's got top boat. You know, and obviously pocket eights is the nuts, but that is very, very rare, and you're not going to be worried about that. Lynn improves his straight to the 7, so he's not going anywhere. And then we have Gray, who has a straight and a set of his, or a straight draw and a set. So Gray is going all in here. I mean, he really wants to see, well, he really wants to see the board pair up there on the top. He's drawing 2 chops against Lynn there. The 6 will give him the same straight. So it's an interesting play here. I mean, he's putting all his chips against it. And you're going multi-way, right? So I can see this if you were going heads up. It's going multi-way to people who've already been aggressive in the pot or shown interest in the pot. So clearly Lynn's calling for sure.
Why not midnight, guys?
And Los is got, I mean, Lynn and Los have almost absolutely the nuts right now. But that can change on the river. So I expect that, oh, I think he folded his 4-6. That can't be right.
We're chopping. And then we got a wheel on the bottom. Choppity, choppity.
Oh, I am so sorry. He had the wheel already. I didn't even see that. It shows you I'm not a good PLO player. I totally missed his wheel. And then the 4, I don't think Lynn had that 4-6 because he had the nuts and he folded. I'm not sure. Maybe you have the wrong cards in there.
No. I would not.
Yes, German is in the game. You may have seen him. He was dealing earlier. Now he's off, and he's we had 2 seats open, so he's going to get in there and mix it up. You see, he noticed it was really good action. Obviously, being the dealer, you can see that, and so he wants to see if he can get his hands in there. I always find that dealers, well, that's probably not true. I shouldn't say that, but I think dealers make really good poker players. It's like they play all the hands with them.
Cheap. No way, man. He just sold for $32. Chris Paul is a beast for fantasy.
You got 200 to work with, right?
I think Lynn's playing really well as well. I don't think he had this. Obviously, I don't think he had that straight there. He wouldn't have folded it.
It's okay.
But he's showing a nice profit, and he's being a little bit more snuggy. Is snuggy a word? I don't know. But he's being a little bit more snug than I'm used to seeing him be. Wow, Los, he's got a set or trips in his hand, however you want to say it, and none of them are connected. So he's strictly going for a straight here as he blocks. If there is a straight out there, he blocks everything for a chop. This is an interesting flop. Los needs a 9. Mr. Wayne has the same. Actually, Mr. Wayne already has the straight. He's double checking. Did I just hit that? Let's see if anybody has spades. I don't see spades out there at the moment. Mr. Wayne's going to check this all the way around. Someone is going to bet. I'd really like to see him raise that up, but I don't think he is. That's a good safe card for Mr. Wayne straight. It's really hidden because he didn't show any any interest in it outside just calling a bet, and he's going to come in with a bet here. Now, what does this story tell? Yeah, when Mr. Wayne bets out here, he is really, really strong. Players know it. Matt has 2 pair here, so he knows his 2 pair is no good. But he's definitely looking to pair those up. Los is going to call with the gutter. Thought I saw an ace there. Yeah, there's an ace on the river. And Mr. Wayne is so far ahead of everybody that I don't see anybody else really calling. But we do have someone leading out. That's much better than calling. So he does have a straight. It's the worst straight. 9-5. I totally missed that. He gets raised instantly. You notice how fast, and I'm a big believer in bet pacing. He really raised fast, and that's almost always the nuts. And that's the perfect card for German to see because the spade doesn't get there and the better straight doesn't get there. And that's always the best feeling in the world when you know you just have the best hand ever and you get bet into. I would have liked to see him kind of slow down and think about it and, you know, maybe count out some chips, take 10 seconds, 15 seconds and kind of deliberate on that.
Oh, man, what? Oh, hits him in the face.
So we have a couple of winners.
Oh my god.
He still got it.
We have a couple of winners tonight.
He was on top of it.
I know Lynn's up 1,400. Los is up. I know Wayne is up. He's been up and down, but he's won some really nice spots. Matt is up. Gray was up. I think he's still up. We'll show those cumulative winnings here in a second. I actually don't know how. I think they come up automatically.
It's freezing last week.
It was cold last week. Alright, German and Mr. Wayne. There you go, perfect.
I know seat 5 and 6 and 7 and 9 are up. We've had a couple of people bust out or leave. They were down a little bit, so.
One falls, fold. Oh, can you guys scan again? Sorry. C3 raises to 25. Thank you. 4 calls, we have a fold and a fold. Yes, sir. Okay, call, call for C1. 5 plays. Check. Seat 9 bets 40.
All right, guys, we're actually going in the opposite direction. We lost a few viewerships. Again, we only have 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so. Like to get to that 25 viewer mark. We will be giving away a couple of memberships if we do, whoever's in the chat. So if you know anybody, please have them come in and jump in and watch some Texas poker. Los now has the only 7, it looks like. And Gray has the nut flush draw, but he can't really like it with the paired board. And he's going to miss. Los has the best hand, although it's not. Oh, I didn't even see it. He has a boat, so he has the king 7. He was really hoping that Gray would hit his flush.
Yeah. That's the thing about football.
125.
Like basketball, I can bet. Because I know all the players and I know scenarios. I can't account for turnovers. Turnovers are so crucial in football. Like them fucking.
Los is going to drag another pot.
fucking-
Los played really well
what the
tonight so
fuck,
far.
dude?
Him and
Are you
Lynn.
kidding me? Like,
That's
how
also
do I
played
factor
really
that
well.
into my bet?
Yeah.
Not saying anybody else didn't play well. Everybody represented themselves Brutus had some really bad cards here. He's always had second best, and
These guys can be just about his squad. You think at the end of it, they get 7-0. It should be 7-0. So it's like a 14, and it's massive.
That's,
It messes your whole.
you can't.
This shit looks
It's so hard to factor that in.
It's like little.
That's why football's a hard.
and there's the winnings there. So Lynn and Gray are their big winners so far. $1,400 profit. That's a nice night, huh? 3 hours work, $1,400. We'll take that.
Because they've been tipping it. They don't account for tips, right?
Almost $500 an hour. That's $1 million a year if you can get, if you can continue that.
I think I'm down like 100.
I think I've got over 2,000 here in the matter of interest.
No,
And I've been
all right,
to-
Matt, German, and Sharky, can you guys scan in?
They're different stuff. 100%.
All right, you guys are good. Thank you. Live 5.
Oh, it has
Oh
to be
no, it
10.
has to be a live 10. Sorry.
I think I'm
On
like
these.
100.
We have a live 10
Sorry,
now
seat 9 is a live 10. Sorry.
because
you guys are
it's a live 10 because we are playing 1-2, bring it in for 5 if you want to play. It's not just a $2 call. And so if you want to straddle, it would have to be 10.
Yeah.
You typically don't see,
Listen, Gray, can you guys scan in?
at least I don't, you don't see straddles in PLO.
Blue already.
All right, you guys are good.
Blue and yellow.
Thank you. All right, seat 1 calls. And a fold. And a fold.
Double suited for German. I know German
4 raises to
likes to push the action here. We've played with him a few times. He's got a good looking ace deuce of hearts. Matt as well has a suited ace, and you'll always see suited aces playing because he can flop the absolute nuts a lot easier than most hands. Mr. Wayne is going to fold his suited ace, however, and it was a better suited ace than the others. I don't know if he actually had that hand, ace queen of clubs. Especially just to a $40 bet here. Oh, I thought I was going to see clubs. Okay, so we have Sharky with top pair. That's a rainbow flop, meaning there's no flush draws at the moment. I like Sharky's bet here. You really, with one pair, you really don't want to get to the turn because you're going to have a flush draw out there most of the times than not.
seat 7 is gone. Can you post a Zoller, please? Thank you. Everyone posts, right? No, he's not here. They still always post, right? Yep.
The baseball game. High scoring baseball game. The Yankees.
They're playing right now.
Here's some excitement in the room. The football game.
Hey, German.
We have a Bears fan.
A
Couple of Bears fans in there.
Wow. It's not
One.
far.
Are you gonna drop the AC?
Yeah, it's pretty hot. It is pretty hot here.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing, Thorm? Hopefully I said your name right. Yeah, this has been a very good game. Very action. PLO will bring
He's coming back.
even more action out of
Matt and Lynn.
Texas poker
And then when
as everybody's
Matt and
drawing.
Lynn,
So
Matt and Lynn yet? Okay, yeah, sorry, it's just on such a delay. I can never tell. Oh yeah, he just got in. All right, thank you. Tried to call.
This one's faster.
Seat 1 calls.
Sharky's going to see flop. He's really connected there with the
You're telling me like what seats we need?
with the straight draw opportunities.
No.
He doesn't like his 3 clubs that
4
connect.
raises to 20.
Takes out the straight flush.
5 calls.
He's on Amazon Prime.
German's going to raise it up. He's got 4 suits represented. So he don't have any suited cards, but he has pocket kings. Gray.
Seat 1 calls.
He's probably not going to call this one off. But I think he does. He's going to elect to, he wants to see a flop there. And Lynn has ace, king, queen. His king is suited. All right, so let's take a look here. We have ace for Lynn and a gut shot to the jack, but Matt blocks his outs. We have kings for German. See any hearts, and it's going to go flop. So queen, king, queen. I don't think anybody. Yeah, we do. So Lynn is now, but he does. But the spades got there. So Mr. Wayne actually has the best hand right now with the flush.
He's still just getting up right now.
Los is going to. He's going to bet this. No one showed any interest in it. Matt's got a set, but he blocks his own boat right there with his 10. And Los is going to call too. He has the straight, and he has the blocker to the nuts with the ace of spades, which is very significant. Now that 5 of spades is less likely somebody else has a flush. And so Mr. Wayne is not in the hand, so he folded his flush. It was a really baby flush. And Lynn is going to take this down as long as it doesn't get checked him. I don't see him betting this at all with the flush out there. It's tough for him to bet here and get any value. There's not much calling you that you beat. But that's what he likes to do, since you don't see anybody that has a flush there. Just checking it to him. So he's going to see if anybody has a set, something like that. A worse straight the wheel got there with 2-4, which is exactly what Los has. I think Los is going to get it. I mean, he only bet 90. You know, it's like a third size of the pot there, so it's very suspicious, very value-y. And Los is asking himself, what would Lynn bet with there that I can actually beat, which is nothing. Yeah, this is an easy fold for Matt.
Does anybody?
He's like, I have a set, but oh, he's gonna call. That might be Matt's first mistake. It was only 90 though, so
You gotta use both cards.
he could have.
If you're ever not sure after you fall, it's probably better to turn your hand over, because then
Well, what'd you say?
that's the hand plays.
That's the last hand? Okay. Sounds good. We're switching cards out then?
We're done? Oh yeah, we're gonna do that as move tables. So I actually have my drink at the table, and we don't worry about.
Yeah, we're gonna switch cards out, guys. This stream's over.
All right, I think that is it. I think that was our last hand. So again, I want to thank everybody who hopped in and hit the like button and commented and joined us and watched this action. I really appreciate it. We are doing this game every Thursday. I think we're doing another stream as well during the week, but this game will happen every Thursday. And right now it is a 1-2 bring in for 5 PLO round of each with Hold'em. So please tune in every Thursday at 6:30. Again, I really appreciate you guys sitting through these 3 hours with us, and everybody have a good night.
Okay.
I'm playing.
Yeah, players stay here. Pizza's fine though.